Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Ravencast. I'm your host, Triton, and today we have a great conversation with Mo Rebuttal. In fact, we'll be doing a little debate, a friendly debate like we did with Morte. The topic's going to be, is Maga successful the second term around? And you already know my answer. I don't think so. I've been really critical of Maga the second term. I was for Maga in the first term, especially when I was younger, because I watched a lot of TV, and I actually did believe in the principles as a young kid of the Trump MAGA movement, and I think Trump has betrayed a lot of the movement and a lot of what he believes in. Which I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the Discord. Shit. Yeah, hopefully everyone's doing well. We got a great show for y'all tonight. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it. Hopefully y'all smash the like button. Follow me on Twitter because a lot of crazy stuff's been happening on Twitter. In fact, because of a lot of the crazy stuff on Twitter, Aaron Baker is gonna be coming back on Thursday and explain a lot of stuff that I've already kind of a little bit covered on Twitter because I've been covering like the Twitter stuff is definitely exclusive because whenever something's breaking and I don't stream, I usually always post it on there. And I've been exclusively covering the Dan Blazarian shit on there. So yeah, how you doing today? I'm Dan240p and Mo Rebuttal's in the
Bro,
audience. What is
how
up,
has
Mo
been a
Rebuttal?
day,
How is
bro?
it going?
One second, I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear you.
We can absolutely hear you. Just give me
Yeah, we can hear
What's going
you. I don't know
on?
if you can hear me, but Dan, you can hear me fine, right?
yeah, it's probably his audio
Yeah.
output capture, whatever going on because he's streaming from a different thing. That's probably what it is.
Mm,
Go ahead, put this shit on Twitter. Yeah, whenever you're ready, just let me know. But yeah, I cannot wait to get into the topic because I'm actually passionate a little bit about this topic a little bit. Because the whole fucking MAGA shit is something that I've been, keeping up with on the channel.
Well, actually, I want to start off by saying one thing first, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
second.
Is the debate about
This isn't gonna work.
is the is the debate about
I'll
is
be right
MAGA
back.
successful? All right.
All right.
But yeah,
The debate
is
is
MAGA
about if MAGA.
successful for Americans or for themselves? Because I'd argue that for Americans, fuck no.
Oh no,
For
I'm
themselves,
arguing
a
based
lot
on no, no,
better.
no. I'm arguing based on Americans. Yeah, you are. Yes, that's what it's about. Is it based on Americans? Because I'm arguing that
I'd
it's
say
not
no.
successful for Americans, especially for Americans like me and you.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. Because, like, I'm of the opinion that MAGA is doing good for itself, but not for the American people that they claimed to be representing.
Would you argue that MAGA was successful in the first term, or was it unsuccessful in the
I
first
would
term as
argue
well?
that okay, there's a lot of nuance to that, all right? Because there will be some people who are like, no, it wasn't successful because if it was, we wouldn't even need a second term. And you know what? That's just not how that works, in my opinion. But I will go ahead and say they were more successful in what they were trying to achieve and how they affected the American people that elected them in the first term. I will say that 100%. Though even in their first term, they fell short too. So it's like, can we even really still give them credit? It's like fuck. You know?
Yeah, it's like fuck. Like, do we even give them credit because they kind of fucked it up the second term?
Yeah.
Because they went back on so many different promises. Oh, Mo Rebuttal is back.
Internet
Welcome
Bill of
back, my
Rights was
friend. Are
something I
you
really was fucking looking forward to, but that
you
didn't
good?
Hey, what's
advance.
happening? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's
Yes,
going
we
on?
can
Can you
hear
hear
you now.
us?
All right, give me a second. I'm fixing shit on my end. I haven't
Okay,
streamed in a while, and it's all kind of fucked up.
fair enough.
No, you're good.
See, okay, we're just gonna do it like this. It is what it is.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear us?
Raggy, right? Yeah, testing. Which,
Yep, I can hear you.
Perfect.
all right, cool.
All right.
We-
Yeah. So, yeah, thanks for having me on to chat, discuss this. Where do you want to begin?
Well, I just want to begin with giving my stance of. I'm just going to answer the question flat out. Do I believe
Okay.
that MAGA is successful in the second term? No, I do not, because they have went back on a lot of promises that I just think. I voted
Hmm.
for Trump and I voted for MAGA in 2024, and I was completely on board with them. But in 2025, when they started burying the Epstein files and then going back on foreign aid promises and the no new wars stuff, it just made me just kind of turn away and be like, yeah, this movement is full of frauds and traitors. So it's like I don't believe MAGA was successful at all with a lot of the promises that they had. Now they were successful on some stuff, like calling out the South African white genocide and pressuring that war leader to stop white genociding people. But other than that, it's like on the other stuff, like mainly the Israel stuff, it just feels like Trump just sold out completely to the establishment. So I would argue that no, he hasn't been really successful because he sold out to the people that he was fighting against. I feel like.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll give a little brief, statement on I guess, where I'm coming from with this. I want to be upfront in how I'm measuring this because, if we don't agree on that first, then we're going to be kind of talking past each other the whole time. But MAGA, under my view, is a political movement, not a personality cult. It's not a whatever the worst tweet of the week is. The movement are built around specific commitments. Some of those commitments are protecting the unborn, controlling the border, pushing back against gender ideology, being pushed on kids, and economic nationalism. And so the standard that I'm using to measure this is, did the movement advance those goals? Not perfectly, not completely. No political movement in history has ever kept all of their promises. Anyone telling you otherwise is going to be selling you something. The question is whether the needle moved on the things that actually mattered. So on those standards that I'm putting forth, I would say the record kind of speaks for itself. We can get into the specifics, but I wanted to agree on how we're measuring before we start. So that's where I'm coming from.
And I'm measuring on just stuff that I believe is like a deal breaker for me. Because because that's the thing. Do I believe that they're unsuccessful in all the goals? No, like they are. But even with the LGBTQ stuff, it's like Trump still approved of surgeries with parental permission, and I don't believe parents should even allow that to begin with at all. And I feel like Trump even sold out on that issue as well. So it feels like all the issues that he ran for, he's just completely selling out or being half-assing. It's like, yeah, he's banning unconsensual trans
Well,
surgeries,
are
but
we
he's not
talking
banning it
about
altogether.
are we talking about MAGA movement or every
This
individual
the
thing that
MAGA
Trump
movement
did?
and Trump
Because
himself as well. Just
yeah,
basically like the promise.
so on the MAGA movement, I don't think you can deny that there's been a pushback on this transformer propaganda. Children cannot consent to permanent medical alteration. A 14-year-old can't sign a contract, vote, or buy a beer, right? With laws agree across the board. But for years, the framework before MAGA allowed these same children begin cross-sex hormone therapy that causes them to become sterilized before they have a single adult relationship. So before their prefrontal cortex is even fully developed. So I don't think you can really deny that the MAGA movement had a big part in that.
Yeah, but don't you think that the movement should push back on Trump, like not fully like just demonize him, but like push back on Trump when he says like, oh, we should make it legal for parents to consent trans surgeries for kids, like make it like where parents can consent to that. Do you think the MAGA movement should at least push back on that when Trump
What
fully said
is
that he was going to
what
outright ban it.
exactly? So what exactly are you referencing here? Can
I'm
you give me?
referencing like Trump's recent bill where he said that parents were allowed to consent for their kids on whether
What's the
if the
bill?
kid. Hey, let me pull it up because there was like this bill that came out where Trump like signed to it. We'll search X real
Also,
quick.
he tweeted about it. Then he fucking circled back once everybody was like, "What the fuck is going on here, Mister Donald?"
So the bill is allowing trans surgery, with consent of adults. Is that the?
Or with consent of children from the parents.
Yeah, no,
Well, yeah, from the parents, right? It would be the parents consenting, right?
yeah. Yeah, but regardless, I mean, that's just fucking stupid.
Yeah, because MAGA is supposed to be against all that stuff, against like LGBTQ and satanic agendas being pushed onto kids, but yet the guy that we elect to destroy it is signing off on it, being half-assed about it.
Well, I mean, not to jump in here, I just want to get my opinion on it. He made a fucking tweet about it. Then when people were shitting on him for it, saying, "Yo, are you like Donald? What the fuck's kind of going on here, brother? We want to make America great again. We don't want to fuck it up even more by giving dumbass parents the ability to fuck up their children's lives because Democrats do
The
it
only
all the
thing
fucking
that
time."
I'm
He edited
so
the
I'm
tweet
finding
after
something that
he edited the tweet after everybody
Oh,
was
yeah, you mean a
clowning
true
on him for
social
it.
Yeah.
post?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I'm
I mean,
trying to find a
that's
screenshot
kind of
original, 'cause
where I'm gonna like separate, right? Because I don't give a shit what he says on any post. I care what's in law and what's actions, right? So the only thing I'm finding
did
here,
somebody's-
I'm trying to find what you're talking about. I found one executive order signed January 28th, titled "Protecting Children from Chemical and Surgical Mutilation," and bans federal funding for gender transition procedures. Is that what you're talking about? That's the opposite.
No, I was
federal
talking about
funding,
where Trump
right?
said he signed a bill that makes it legal for parents to consent to it.
Yeah, if you found that yet? I just
No, I'm
want to
still looking for it because I remember seeing it like a while back. Wait, let me see.
know. Okay.
Look, I mean, you don't have to care what somebody can say, but like 9 times out of 10, whenever somebody in that kind of, that kind of sphere of politics, like the fucking president, if they say something very fucking stupid and have to walk back on it, well, you know what they believe or wanted to do.
Yo, Dan, do you know where I can find that True Social post? Because I'm searching all over X.
Well,
It's been edited. It's been edited, so
let me
it's
be
not-
exact here. I'm looking for an actual bill or something he signed into
So I remember
legality
he had like
that
there was like a
allows this.
screenshot of the bill too a while back as well.
All I'm gonna
Okay.
say is screenshots could be faked. Okay. But like regardless, the thing on True Social was said. I don't know if me personally, I don't know if the bill was actually signed, so I'm probably just gonna
Okay.
take the role of the mediator here.
But even
because,
then, it's like, what's the point of him saying something like as the president? Do you think like he should at least be consistent to what he actually believes in and put into law? Because that's just dividing all these people. On the right.
Wait, Triton, hold on. Let me go in and just go in here for a second, right? I mean, now you're kind of shifting the point, right? But I mean,
Not really.
It's a good thing to bring up, right? You're trying to bring up the fact that like he signed this into law. I honestly I don't think he signed it into law after all the backlash he got. Could probably just be misremembering. But
Okay.
I mean, it's a good fucking point, is it not, Mo? Like, we really wanted Trump to be consistent, okay? Like everybody who voted for him did, right? Even the MAGA did, right? But there's so many things that he's not really being consistent on. He's bowing down.
I don't judge any politician on like I don't look at them to save me, right? I look at it issue by issue. And so for me, someone like me under a Christian paradigm, I would look at the overturn of Roe v. Wade as a major win. It's like the biggest win
fair,
in
I mean,
a long
to be
time.
fair,
To be
that's
fair,
one
that
of
is
the
a
wins.
big win. That's a big win.
Yeah,
To be
that's
fair, it
one of the
absolutely
ones
is.
that actually do agree and voted for. But another thing
because
that
now
like
it's
I
on a
made,
state level, and now we can battle it on state level.
Yeah.
Now, here's a little thing for you guys. If you're ever talking about this to someone else, they might bring up the fact, well, abortions went up when right after that, went to the states, and that is factually true. What happened was blue states aggressively opened up the access to abortion in response to that. So you had a bunch of Democrat shitheads that went after this and tried to make a point. We didn't really see a drop in abortions until 2025. I think it dropped by like 5% in the first quarter. So, but the bigger position, the bigger win is a kind of ideology win, right? We now have it from the state level. It's on the state level. We have it from the federal level to the state. Now we can battle it on the state levels.
Yeah. I mean, that is a huge win, regardless of what people think.
Right.
but another point too that I don't believe that like MAGA, even like a lot of MAGA people have kind of flipped on this issue as well as like the Epstein files, because Trump ran on releasing the Epstein files and making sure that we get actual arrests. And then in July 2025, whenever Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene actually told Trump to put that in action, Trump attacked them and said they're no longer MAGA, and said that there was no Epstein files, that it's all a Democrat hoax, that the Epstein files didn't exist, and if you voted for the Epstein files, I don't want your vote anymore. Basically told everyone that cares about Epstein to go fuck themselves, and I feel like that's a big, huge damage reputation to MAGA, because there's a lot of MAGA people that have flipped on this issue as well. A lot of the pro MAGA accounts on Twitter, a lot of the pro MAGA influencers and the neocons surrounding Trump, they're all flipped on the issue, saying that the Epstein files are not real, that anyone caring about the Epstein files just cares about Democrat propaganda. And it's like, that's not true, that it's not Democrat propaganda when it incriminates Democrats as well. Like Democrats and Republicans are getting hit as well. And not to mention, too, Trump defended the Democrat, aka Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, saying that they're good people, they're not complicit into any crimes, and basically lying and saying that they had nothing to do with Epstein, even though we all know that's bullshit. And I feel like Trump should have not lied on that issue, and I feel like he should have been consistent with that issue and actually tried
What
his
was
best.
what was the specific claim that he made that sorry, say that again?
Trump basically said that the Epstein files was a complete hoax multiple times on
Right.
TV, and basically tried his best to avoid signing the bill. But then Thomas Massey O'Connor forced his hand, so he signed the bill for the Epstein files to be released. But his FBI director, Kash Patel, basically only released half of the files, and a lot of it's redacted, so we don't even know like the serious crimes. So it's like the Trump administration as a whole has handled the Epstein files horribly, and Trump is campaigning against the one Republican that
Yeah,
is
but
advocating for the Epstein
so hold on.
files.
So does Trump? He signed the order to release them. Now the
Yeah,
redactions,
after
that part of the redaction that you're pointing to. First off, I'll say this out on the front. Yeah, I think the way it was handled was a shit show. And it could have been done a lot better. I'll agree with you on that point, 100%. But when it comes to what he actually did, he did sign to release them. And then when it comes down to the redactions, that's not. There's different reasons for those redactions to be redacted. And a lot of those have to do with ongoing cases and other things of that such. And he's not even in like control of that.
Yeah, but his FBI director is, and he should fire his FBI director, because his FBI director was on record under oath. So it's not just some statement. He was on record under oath saying that there is no evidence that Jeffrey Epstein sexually trafficked anybody. And I can pull up that clip. And the fact that Trump hasn't fired Kash Patel is just beyond insane. And I feel like there's definitely a cover up that Trump is getting himself involved in.
Mind if I butt in here for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead. Butt in with your own point.
So, yeah, Mo, the way Trump handled it was an absolute shit show. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Oh my God, give me 1 minute.
But it's just like the way Trump handled this, it's like he betrayed a lot of the voters because he literally said, hey, if you voted for this, fuck you. I don't want you
Well,
to vote anymore. And it's like, I feel like, as of someone that voted for the Epstein files to be released, I feel like he's betrayed the vote. And not only that, but he's going after the guy, Thomas Massey, who actually
Right. Yeah.
made the bill, and he's campaigning against Thomas Massey. And I feel like that is a horrible campaign decision because it's like Thomas
Well,
Massey's the one that made the Epstein Transparency Act. But go ahead,
yeah.
Dan.
Let me give my thoughts because I was have some personal stuff going on literally right as the stream goes on. That's fucking awesome, isn't it? But anyway, so like I was saying, Mo Rebuttal is right. The way it was initially handled was a shit show. I totally agree with that. It totally was. The deny, like, it's just a Democrat hoax, whatever. That's fucking stupid. Okay, that's dumb. Second of all, the Jesus Christ, I fucking hell back up again. Second of all, I do believe and agree with Triton. Yes, the whole thing with Cash Patel being FBI director and screwing everything up, making it just completely fucking just. It made it worse, right? He lied under oath. Should have been definitely some dealt with about that, right? I mean, lying under oath, we're told, is the worst thing somebody in public office can do in America, but God forbid that fucking stops anybody from doing it. But another thing I want to say, okay, because two of you brought up good points. Tron brought up a good point that lying under oath, Cash Patel should be done. Should have some done about it. Mo is also correct that, yes, unfortunately, there is a reason why a lot of the stuff on the Epstein files was redacted. But I have my own rebuttal to that, right?
I have a rebuttal too, but
Why
you can go
are
ahead and
there
give yours.
so like initially there were about what was it 3.7 or 3.5, don't quote me on that number. All I know is there was a lot more pages of the FBI files when they was first released than there is now because there were some pages being removed. What would be the kind of defense for that? I mean, did the FBI director that Trump appointed even more incompetent to the fact where, like, oh, he released files that should have been redacted publicly, and now they have to remove them again? Like, I mean, what kind of gives here, man? I mean, I feel like this whole situation was fucked up, and I feel like nobody's really coming to the conclusion that, like, yes, there's so many fucked up things about this, but they did release the files. But now they're removing some files that implicate some very powerful people, right? For
when you say
basically
they're
no fucking
removing
reason.
them,
Rothschilds.
what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Like
With
they?
the Rothschilds, they were mentioned. They were mentioned before in the files. You look them up, and there's not as much mentions as there were when they were first released. Go on the Internet Archive, Wayback Machine. That page was archived. More files the day it released than currently today, unless they fucking released them back again. But I do remember doing this myself about a few months ago, like maybe what was it, fucking January, before I went for the March for America. Yeah, they were actively removing files. So like one day you
Oh,
have
yeah, I
this
remember
particular
that.
number,
So
the next
are
there
you
were less. It's
saying?
like, what's
So let me
going on
just.
here?
I want to make sure I understand. Are you saying that the files were released from a official portal or whatever,
Yeah.
and then some time passed, and then you went and checked the files again, and there was missing files?
Remove
that the
files.
claim?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not aware of this. I mean, it could. I'm not really sure. I can even speculate. Who knows? Maybe an investigation came up, and that was the reason why. Maybe I have no idea. Speculating though doesn't really get me anywhere. Like I'd have to see what you're talking about though to like really understand.
See, that part's like I didn't really bring up because it's like, it's hard to prove something was there when it's just completely gone. But my
Well,
rebuttal
yeah.
to it is that's the thing. I do agree with like redacting the names of the victims and redacting names of like potential innocent people, potential people that are not fully guilty. But there, just like Raven Goiper said in chat, there was literally emails, and I'm sure you've probably seen it on the files yourself. There are little emails of people talking about eating babies and the names of the perpetrators saying that or admitting to stuff. They're redacted. And it's like, why is the names of the people saying this horrible stuff redacted? It's like, why even show the horrible stuff at all if you're just going to redact the name of the person who said it?
What
Because
type
people
of
are
investigation
still
there
more
would be
interested
a-
in the perpetrator who said
There
it.
would be a
You know,
very good reason, though, right? Like, let's say you have you're building a case against someone, right? And you have all this evidence come out. You'd want to hide a lot in order to prep properly for the case. That could be
Yeah, but
potentially
why
Yeah,
release-
but I mean, hold on. Let me go ahead and say.
But
this.
also,
Prep in what
a
way?
second-
Prep in what way though?
Well, if you're building a case against someone, you need to collect evidence and also not, it would behoove you to not let them know that, hey, you're
But
building a
their
case to
emails
some
were
degree.
leaked. I'm pretty sure they remember their emails talking to.
Yeah, but
Jeffrey
why
Epstein
leak?
dating
Yeah, but hold on.
babies.
My rebuttal is why we leak the emails at all at that point? Why even give the public the emails? But if you just
Well, the public
why
was
even
asking
leak
for
at
it.
all? Like they might as well just kept the emails private and say,
Well,
hey,
wait, hold on, wait. If that's your argument, then he's damned if he do and damned if he doesn't, because the public was asking for it, and if he doesn't release it, then they're going to say that's
Well,
bad.
yeah,
And
but
now
hold on,
they're
the
releasing it, and there's
public one-
redactions.
hold on,
Then
Mo.
so which
The
one is it?
public one- wait, listen. The public wanted full transparency. That's what we're asking for, and we didn't get full transparency, and that's why they're mad because they wanted the names of the perpetrators.
Well, okay, just because the public wants something, should they get it?
Absolutely.
No, so
the
why-
government is supposed
so
to
why
listen
give
to
it to
us.
the
That's how
public
this
at all?
country
Like,
works.
why
They should.
Hold on, Triton.
Okay,
hold on.
okay.
Triton.
Okay.
Listen.
Okay.
The government
So
is,
then,
our
but
government
wait,
is
hold on.
supposed to work for us, Mo.
Okay.
Not the other
Okay,
way
got
around.
it. Okay, got it. So if the public decides that, necrophilia is good, should the government do it? Put it in law?
Obviously
The fucking public
not.
decides yes.
So then the
that's
public-
how the government
so-
works.
oh,
Literally,
I mean,
it's a
technically,
fucking
but that's
constitutional representative democracy. If we vote for
Wait,
it,
what was
it
it?
works,
Wait, what was
but
this
nobody's
country
going to vote
founded
on
on?
it. So
Okay,
what's
well
the
then
point?
we would
Mo,
disagree highly then.
Obviously nobody's going to vote for it unless they're like gay.
Well, no,
fucking
no.
morons.
Do you understand that I'm testing your logic here? I asked you just because the public says they should get something. Should they get it? You
That's
said
how the
yes.
government works, Mo. That's literally how it
I mean,
works.
that's-
Our government specifically.
Well, no. If the public, because if the public,
Hold on,
if
y'all
the
talking
hold
about
on,
it,
hold
but
on,
I actually want to give a point to that.
hold
vote
on.
on
If
it, they
the
let it
public, hold on, let me get my case out. If the public decides that they should have nukes, you think the government's obligated to give them nukes? There's
but not
guidelines.
everybody's gonna fucking vote for
Hold
it.
on.
That's the thing.
But wait a minute. No. I'm saying if in the hypothetical they do, right? They did. So my point
Yes,
is the
that's how
government
that's how our
has
government
certain
works.
the government has certain responsibilities, and one is to protect the populace, and that would go against
That may be
protecting the
true in other
populace.
countries, but they obviously do a shit job in this country, and they're supposed to listen to us, not the other way around. That's how this country was founded.
To a degree.
To a degree.
To a degree.
To a degree.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah, but
because
we
because then what you're advocating for is pure democracy, and that is a very bad road to go down.
Yeah, but
well,
don't
maybe
you-
we should. Here's the crux of the issue is we turned into one of those anyway. We weren't initially a democracy. We were initially a representative constitutional republic. Now we added democratic elements into that. So, I mean, fuck.
We're not
Maybe
a pure
they should just
democracy.
fucking- Not yet. Not yet.
No,
But I mean,
no. The government structure is like a mixture of all kind of things. It has, it's
yeah,
constitutional
well, that's what you
republic.
get
It
for adding
has
a lot
a
of
few
people into the country,
socialist,
yeah.
few socialist programs sprinkled in here and there.
Yeah.
As little, I would agree with you that the democracy point, universal
proportionality of
suffrage
the
is a bad
argument-
One
thing.
at a time.
The proportionality of the argument was just ridiculous. From fucking releasing files about people eating fucking babies when we're asking for full transparency so that we know who these people are, so they can't hide behind their fucking money and anonymity, so they can finally go to fucking jail. To, oh yeah, everybody wants to vote on, necrophilia, nukes, bro, what the fuck? That's crazy. No,
It's
we just want
called
the
it's
federal
called testing your
investigation.
logic. It's called testing your
Hold
logic
on.
with a
Can I-
hypothetical.
Can,
But
I give
still,
my feedback on that? Because I actually want to respond to it.
go on.
It's like, that's
Go
the
ahead.
thing. We were founded on like the people actually having say on certain things, and obviously, it's like if people are voting for immoral
Well, hold on,
stuff,
wait.
then
I
obviously
well,
should listen to- but
no.
going-
The
hold on,
founding
do you-
of
hold
a
on, I want to ask a question. Do you really Do you think the government owes the public full transparency on?
Well, first off, I'd like to address what you said there. You said we're founded on basically the people voting get what they want.
That's why we.
Hold on. That's not correct. That's not correct. That's not correct. No,
it is correct. Why did we break away from the
Let me explain. Can I explain? Let me explain. When the founding of America started out on the founding, the way they set up first off, for a long time, not everyone could vote. Did you know that?
Yeah, not
it was
even
only like a very small.
Women. It was just people. Who
not even a small number of people. Yeah. So what you just said there isn't even correct. It goes towards my paradigm. That some people shouldn't be allowed to vote because they're too retarded.
Yeah, but to be fair, this country is by the people for the people, though.
Yeah, but not only that, but this country was still founded on justice and billionaires sex trafficking minors is a really big deal. And if there's people literally
I don't disagree
and sacrifice,
but we were talking about the public en masse demanding something, and then they should just get it. And I disagree.
Yeah, but don't you think they should get full transparency on our leaders breaking the law? You don't think they should get full transparency on that? Would you want to know if there's billionaires or people in our government sex trafficking and doing criminal activities?
I have a better argument,
so listen. Just step back for a moment. I agree with you. We should have as much as we can from the Epstein files, as long as it doesn't impede on the ability to actually get some sort of justice out of the dirtbags in it, right? Whatever the injustice that they did in there, right? But I'm saying that it's a bad argument to say that just because the masses want something, we should give it to them. That's my point.
That's not my argument. My argument is, in this case, it should, because our leaders are actually breaking the Constitution and breaking the law and betraying the people by doing shady business. And I feel like the shady business should be exposed on this specific issue.
What Constitution are they breaking by not releasing the Epstein files?
The breaking the Transparency Act, because they said that they would release the files. Not only that, but our leaders shouldn't be sex
Transparency Act.
Point break. Period.
All right, hold on. Yeah, go ahead, Mo.
I was just trying to understand. You said so they break it in the Transparency Act is your
Epstein Files Transparency Act.
Yeah, they're fully breaking it, because the Transparency Act.
Okay, but that's not a constitutional right.
No redactions, and there was signed.
But that's not a constitutional right. That's a Transparency Act that was signed into law, right?
Would you
just want to make sure I understand?
Oh wait, hold on, Mo. Earlier
I just want to understand what we're discussing here. Like, are we talking about constitutional laws, or are we talking about a Transparency Act? Okay, great. So the Transparency Act, you said constitutional. He's breaking the Constitution. I was wondering what you meant by that, but you're talking about the Transparency Act.
Yeah,
so in the Transparency Act,
I should have used.
That's fine. So when the Transparency Act that he signed in, you're saying that because I guess there's certain things there they said he was going to do and he didn't do, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't. But in the Transparency Act, I mean, I could be wrong on this, but I thought there was stipulation in there about redactions and how to handle them, and it was going, even in the act itself, it talked about redactions being a thing.
Yeah, redactions on victims and people that could be in danger, not the perpetrators.
No, yeah, okay. No, they use the, no. Okay, Triton, let me just explain this, because I think this is how they did those redactions. People in danger, it's a loophole. Technically, they didn't break the law, they used a loophole, because if we don't redact the billionaires' names, they could be in danger, so we got to redact their names too. So I mean, that's kind of, yeah.
Yeah, but when because Thomas Massey himself explained this multiple times, like on his Twitter and all that. When he wrote that in, he wrote that for the victims specifically, not the perpetrators.
Yeah, but any lawyer could argue otherwise based on just vague wording. So I mean, to be fair.
Yeah, but this is my problem: is they use these shady loopholes and want to act genuine, like, oh, we signed the Epstein files, we released the Epstein files. Yeah, but you're using loopholes to redact certain shit so you can protect certain friends.
Mind if I just go ahead and say something real quick? I was gonna bring this up earlier, but I wasn't able to. Mo, just a quick question, bro. Just a quick question.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
regardless of the law or not, do you think it's kind of fucking cheap or whatever, right? I mean, the law. I mean, you're going on and saying like the reason why they redacted their names and the email is due to an ongoing investigation, so they don't know.
I'm saying that could be. I don't have all the answers because I'm not the FBI
be,
director
yeah.
or whatever, right?
Could be.
Like I don't have the answers. I don't think anyone really does on this side of the fence, right?
No.
The only people
no.
who really know what's redacted or not are going to be the people who are doing the redacting. I think that's just
Well, I mean,
self-evident.
regardless, it's kind of fucking stupid that it's redacted. I mean, if there was a federal investigation in some other case leading back to that specific email other than Epstein, and they were redacting the name or whatever for whatever reason, that is dumb because there's literally no benefit to releasing the fucking email but redacting the name other than trying to exploit a loophole that people are gonna fucking complain about anyway, the endangering. But
Well, no, there would be a reason. There would be a reason to
What is it?
release the email and have redactions because it was.
Yeah, but on the
Yeah,
perpetrator,
They said that
why
they
would
were-
we
they
care?
were
try and hold on. Go on. Mo.
They were demanding the, like you said, the public was demanding a release, and in the Transparency Act, they said they were going to release them, so they did what they said they were going to do. So I don't see how there's a contradiction.
Yeah, I do see the contradiction because apparently, in one breath, you're saying the public shouldn't always get what they demand, but and then the next you're saying
no.
they got it, but we didn't get what we demanded. We wanted full transparency.
My comment before was based on just your stance of it being kind of a bad take, right? That was kind of separate from whether I think it should be released or not.
Well,
I was
let's
just
go
like
ahead
talking
and
with
see
you
what
about
do you
that.
think? What do you think personally? Just so we can kind of get a gauge on that. Because I'll go ahead and start first. I believe if the email is already going to be released with all the crimes going on, what's the harm in releasing the name of the person in the email who was perpetrating it? After all, like Triton said, and like even Thomas Massey brought up in a couple of his tweets, the redactions would be meant for people, i.e. the victims, who would be endangered having their name on there if they were to be released. Why redact the names of the people who are sending the email talking about how much they enjoyed those depraved acts? They're not going to redact the email about the depraved acts, but they're sure as shit going to redact the name. What does that serve? Why couldn't we have just made that fully transparent, which we should have? What is your take? Do you think it should have been?
Well, I've already stated that potentially it could be part of an ongoing investigation. It could be part of something that they're looking to actually act on. But once again, I don't know fully. Like I can speculate.
What are your thoughts?
I think it probably has to do with investigations or how they're going
Should
down.
it be released fully or not?
What should be released fully? The names of the people?
The names of the people who committed the
perpetrators.
act. The emails have already been released. What about the names of the people who sent the emails regarding those depraved acts, talking about enjoying it or even describing it? I'm not saying.
I think everything. This is a catch-all stance here. I think everything that can be released without endangering people actually getting locked up should be released. That's my stance.
Okay.
But the problem with that is I don't know what that entails, right? I don't know. I have no idea because I'm not part of the investigation.
I mean, fair enough. I guess I can see where the caution's coming from. I mean, yeah, we do want these people to be locked up, but I mean, locked up is a little bit too.
Well, no, I mean,
fucking
my
late.
under my paradigm, I'd make them go play in trees.
Yeah, I mean, you can still do that. Just charge them with fucking treason against the American people or military tribunal. It's as simple as that.
So that's
And
kind
like
of so.
like Glitch said, nah, they all should be locked up. Let society collapse. And I agree with Chat because that's the thing. It's like that's the thing. We got to show that we are for justice, and to do that, we got to lock up all. The fact that we haven't had a single arrest for the Epstein files, even though there's tons of evidence against them that the DOJ has, just shows in the failure of the Trump administration.
When were those files even released?
So I gotta ask though, like, is this like this seems to be a pretty big sticking point for you? And I'm not saying that it's not a big thing, but whenever we're sitting here measuring whether Maga was a success or not, do you think
That's the
that?
one thing that
do
they
you
ran
think?
on.
Well, right, but do you think that encompasses the whole of MAGA, or do you think there are things that Trump has done that is significantly good and has had some big wins.
My
Hold on.
opinion
Oh,
first.
no, Dan, wait. I want to fully rebuttal to this because I actually have a good answer
I'll give
to it.
mine after.
I don't think it obviously doesn't discredit the good that Trump's done, but it definitely puts a distrust in the Trump admin for transparency. Whenever they sign a transparency act and they said they're going to be fully transparent, they said arrests are going to happen, they said there's going to be men in handcuffs, they said all this, and they promised all of it, and then they just, whenever it's time to do it, they try to weasel way they're out of it, redact certain shit, and use loopholes and basically betray the MAGA base and disrespect the people that actually voted for the Epstein Transparency Act and said, if you care about Epstein or want the files released, I don't want your vote anymore. I feel like that's one of the things that's damaging MAGA, and that's just one of the principles that I feel like Trump has went back on. And I feel like Trump going back on a lot of these things that are important is damaging MAGA a lot because
Mind if I give my thoughts after?
it's making people not want JD Vance or Marco Rubio to win 2028. Because I'm gonna be real, I'd rather a Republican to win, but I don't think a MAGA Republican should win in 2028 because of a lot of this stuff. And the Epstein thing's not even the only thing. That's just one of the things that I feel like the Trump admin has failed on.
Go on.
Yeah. Well, so if based on what I previously said, if I'm going to take the Epstein file, how it was handled, and also, I mean, we still haven't got to the end of this, right? We don't know how this is going to end, right? So that's another thing to consider. But if I take that, and then I compare it to the trans issue, and I compare it to Roe v. Wade, to me, it far outweighs like what I currently know, right, on the Epstein files. Like, yeah, it was a bad thing, and it's handled like a shit show. And once again, we don't know how it's going to end. But for a 70, I talked about this earlier. A 70-year-old can't get a tattoo without parental consent. A tattoo. But for years, we were told the same teenager could go on hormones that would leave them sterile before they could even become an adult and understand what that means. And if you object to the problem, then you were the problem, right? Finland looked at the data, Sweden looked at the data, England looked at the data. All three came back and said the science doesn't justify this for kids. So the MAGA pumped the brakes in America. That's not a failure as far as I'm concerned. That's the most basic protection a society can.
Hold on. I actually want to explain the bigger
I didn't get
picture.
to say my last point, bro. I didn't get to say my last point. I'd like to go on and say that first. Mo, I'm going to go on and say this, right? Look. I mean, we can go on all day about, does this make MAGA bad? It undermines it, right? I mean, people at the head of a movement can do great things and do some good change. They could also do some terrible things and fucking reap the consequences that they sow, right? There are numerous examples, right, other than the Epstein files. Let's go on ahead.
Yeah, hold on, Dan. That's why I didn't want you to interrupt because I was about to bring that up. It's more than just the Epstein files thing. The Epstein files is just one of the things. The bigger picture is Trump has betrayed a lot of these principles for the billionaire class. We elected Trump in to actually be for Americans and for, not for the billionaire class that hates us, not for the establishment. Trump came in to fight the neocons, to fight the establishment, to fight foreign influence, and instead he's bound down to all of it and betrayed his principles on all.
So this just real quick, this seems to be more of a Trump. Is Trump a success or a failure? Not is MAGA.
No, and MAGA too. Hold on.
Triton, if you would let me explain, I could let it say.
I want to explain this. Hold on. I want to explain this because you want to know why I included MAGA? Because guess who's in MAGA now? Mark Levin, Lindsey Graham, Laura Loomer. All these people are warmongers. Trump has kicked out Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, and a lot of the people that made MAGA what MAGA really was, a lot of the people that sacrificed MAGA, they're out of MAGA. Trump has said, you are not MAGA. He said Mark Levin was MAGA. He said Laura Loomer was MAGA. And guess what all these people failed on? Guess what all these people convinced Trump to? They all infiltrated MAGA to get Trump to listen to the billionaire class. Because of that,
is MAGA only Trump,
class.
or is it the people?
Not anti the billionaire class anymore. But go ahead and make your rebuttal.
Is MAGA only Trump, or is it the people, or is it the political movement?
It's the political movement because they kicked out all the fucking people that were, all the original people that were for America First are no longer in MAGA because Trump ruined it. Trump ruining it by installing Jack Ramaswamy, J.D. Vance, and all the people that are not. MAGA basically changed its principles, and that's what the debate is about, is MAGA changing its principles and changing who gets to be a part of it and who gets not be part of it.
So wait, when did MAGA go back on abortion? Did MAGA go back on border security? Did MAGA go back on?
Yeah, they did go back on mass deportations.
Mind if I?
Well, okay, but if we're getting into deportations, we can
out and said that he's only going after illegal criminals and not all legals anymore. He said that.
But if you look at,
Bush is right. Who cares about abortion? Because the abortion thing is not what I'm mad about. If I was bitching about the
well, that's what under my paradigm, I consider that success. So maybe we disagree on that. I consider that a very
okay. Well, that subject. Is a success, but that doesn't excuse.
Well, we can look at the border. Well, hold on. Let me get.
Say this real quick.
Look, there's two of you and one of me. Can I just get out a statement?
I can't even fucking speak, Triton.
Yeah, because I'm trying to. I'm in the middle of a point, and you guys are
okay. Go ahead.
Talking over me and Mo. I just want to get a point out at least.
All right, get your point out, and it's my turn.
Go ahead, and then I'll like to state something. But go ahead.
Look, Mo. Look. We know you care about abortion, okay? I'm gonna have to change my whole fucking point because it's been so far past it. Look, we know you care about abortion, you see that as a success, okay? But one success does not outweigh numerous failures. I mean, for one, there's a couple failures. The mass deportations, as Triton was bringing up, that is a massive failure.
I mentioned more than one.
Okay, let me mention more. The mass deportations, where he said he was going to deport all illegal aliens, but instead of deporting all of them, he's only deporting the criminal ones and giving the H-1B visas as a loophole over here. And, it's for the tech sector, screwing over Americans who could get jobs in the tech sector. Wow, that's a real fucking good outweightment for the fucking abortion. Yeah, more babies aren't going to be killed, but that doesn't help the fucking babies getting born into families that aren't being fucking able to be connected because they don't have the money to even fucking do that. Second of all, mass surveillance. How the fuck are we having more mass surveillance under Trump than fucking Biden of all people? That's fucking ridiculous and that's retarded. Third of all, what is with all this? Oh, we need to end foreign influence, but now we're gonna have fucking AIPAC, which is literally fucking America-Israel pact, a foreign nation. Doesn't matter if that's our biggest ally in the Middle fucking East. Doesn't matter at all. Still foreign influence in any way, shape, or form. He said he was gonna end that. Why is it that most of these politicians that are getting fucking elected into positions now or are running for elected positions, why are they influenced by a foreign lobby? Regardless of if you want to say, oh, it's not technically registered foreign, that's because it doesn't have to be. And fourth of all, another good one, age verification laws. We've had so many big promises like Internet Bill of Rights. Where the fuck is that?
Okay, can we take it one thing? Can we take it one thing at a time? Because if you mentioned like 15 things, I can't really address.
Do you know why I mentioned 15 things, Mo? Because the one
but it's not congruent to an actual discussion here, right? So
but not in your opinion. So let's not in your opinion, but regardless.
Well, no. How can I respond to 15 things in my head?
I can give you one
for 1 second. I'm telling you that one good thing does not outweigh.
You've mentioned, but I can't address all of them at once, right? We have to go one at a time. Well, no, I'm not going to accept them. We're gonna address them. Well, you claim that's your claim, but it's yet to be proven. So
I mean, you could just go on fucking Twitter.
Now listen, we can. I don't use Twitter to make my decisions, right?
Look at whitehouse.gov. Look at previous press.
Let's address. You mentioned a foreign aid. We'll go with that one, like the foreign lobby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, right? You're talking about AIPAC, I'm assuming, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah, I think AIPAC should be removed from the government. But here's the thing, right? I find it funny that people who knew of Trump and voted for Trump is surprised that he's like Zionist. That's like that was a known thing, right? So, and of course we can be critical of it, but I don't. But here's the thing, like all of the politicians in government have like money being paid to them by APAC, right? So you're kind of at a wash right now. So to me, I agree that it's a bad thing, but everyone you're talking about is going to be influenced by APAC.
Okay.
Like who are we going to like? What's the other option, right?
I want to make this clear. This applies to all the candidates. I don't want to vote or have any candidate that takes money from any foreign influence, point blank, period. And a lot of these people say, but they all do it. Yeah, that's what I'm against. That's what I'm mad about. That's what I'm critical of. MAGA was supposed to be different. And MAGA's no different than everyone else. We wanted Trump to be different than everybody else.
I think going into it thinking MAGA was like thinking Trump was going to be different in regards of losing proposition.
Why would we think he would be different than everybody else when he's saying, let's drain the swamp, I'm going to cuss during the debate team and call Jeb Bush a fucking idiot? Yeah. That is different than everybody else. Why would we think he'd be different? I wonder why.
Well, we shouldn't, because if you look at his history, his daughter married a Jewish guy, man. Like, what do you expect? Like,
okay, so we need to vote. Okay. Hold on, Dan. I don't want it to be a 2v1. Wait, Dan, I don't want to be 2v1, and I actually do want to respond here. My argument is we need to vote for someone that actually is different. If we want change, we need to be selective and pick the people we change and that changes. And if they fail us, we get rid of them and we pick someone else. We don't need the Republican Party or MAGA to be compromised by all this Israeli Jewish neocons. Because that's what's ruined MAGA is all these neocons saying they're MAGA, saying they're America first. It's ruined the name. It's ruined the image of MAGA. And that's why MAGA is unsuccessful, because MAGA has been infiltrated by all these. Well,
I think MAGA was successful at getting the border closed.
Yeah,
March 24th. March 2020. Well, hold on. March 2024. 137,473 illegals crossing apprehensions in the southwest border.
We still have
March 2025, 7,181 was apprehended. That's a 95% reduction in 12 months.
Yeah,
so I would call that a really good.
Hold on. Another thing too.
No. I said apprehensions.
I'm bringing up the foreign influence part. That's what's ruining, because that's the thing. What's ruining all the good things is the bad things that Trump's doing. Just because he's doing a few good things with the border and all that, it doesn't mean that he can do
wait a
all
minute.
the bad
So wait a minute.
things.
So then is the
that is on the
what's
border,
what's the counter to this? Did we vote Democrat?
We need someone that's good on those issues, but also good.
Okay, so if a Democrat, gotcha. Okay, consider this then. Democrat starts to run. He's anti-APAC. He wants to release Epstein files, but he's open borders and all the other shit that Democrats come with. The party of open borders, party of children being able to transition, party of free abortions for everyone. You're saying that you're going to be okay with that?
No, I want a candidate.
Okay, so there is a measurement.
Because I want you to know where I'm coming from. I want a candidate that is for closing the border, releasing the Epstein files, and is against foreign aid. I want a candidate that is for those three policies.
Okay.
I want someone that's going to do mass deportations and end foreign aid. That's what a candidate I want. Trump's not even doing good on mass deportations either. Has
to say about this, Mo, all we have to do is vote third party, like Glitch says. We're stuck in this left versus right, big two-party system that was never really supposed to be the thing, right? Why don't we just vote third party and get this shit fixed? What's going on?
Hold on, can I?
Because I'll tell you what.
I actually want to counter Dan. Because I disagree with Dan.
Let Mo speak. I asked him a question, Triton. Mo, go ahead.
So,
but I'm rebuttaling after.
I would say the reason you can't is because historically, whenever a third party tries to get started, it doesn't have enough movement behind it, and it ends up taking votes away from the people that may be better for the position.
Well, historically,
than
hold on, Dan, can I rebuttal? Because I do have a point as
well. What happens historically? We can use that argument with a ton of stuff.
All right, now I'm making my point.
I'm saying that if you vote for a third party, it doesn't have enough traction. Like, look, if you get enough people for a third party, and they have all the things that they're not going to keep all the promises because once again, no political party does. But let's say they have a lot of the stuff that you're saying, and it's everyone can agree on. Sure, why not? But that's not happening. And
Damn.
until that does happen, then you're just kind of throwing your vote away.
Can I also make the interject on this because I actually don't agree with third party, and here's why. They're not going to win, especially in 2028. Third party's not going to win. They don't get that much traction, and even if they do have good policies, it's like right now it's like we'll need in order for third party to work, we'll need a Republican or someone that is America First to run for like either like a Republican or Democrat, preferably Republican, just because let's be real, the Democrat Party is so shit and all that. So we'll
Which
need
brings
so
up
hold
a
on.
good
Let me
point.
fully finish.
Teddy
Let me fully
Roosevelt
finish.
was
Let me
third
fully
party.
finish. Let me fully finish. We need someone to run in the Republican Party and actually mainstream the third party because we can't just say, oh, let's run a third party in 2028 because he ain't going to win. We'll need someone that actually wins and get in the House, and we'll have to play by the rules by running Republican, getting someone to win the Republican primaries, and then mainstream the idea of a third party when the president is there. Because when the president is sitting, he has all the influence in the world, and then he can spread the influence of actually creating a third party. But right now, we will need to vote for the two-party system until we can actually infiltrate into the White House and actually make change. Because in order for you to make change, you have to play it slowly. And right now, voting third party is not a good idea because third party is not even mainstreamed yet. That is my rebuttal to the whole third party thing because you can't vote third party
Well,
because
Glitch brings up a good point. I mean, wasn't Teddy Roosevelt third party?
Yeah, but that's
when
that
when
was
Teddy
years ago,
Roosevelt?
though, Dan. That was like
It was years ago after people were getting fucked for years, bro. So all you have to just wait. I guess all we have to do is wait to get fucked up the ass for a couple more years. Then third party will come into being, I guess. Just wait for that, I guess. We'll just wait.
All we need to do as well is we need to wait until the dark horse shows up. Because when the random dark horse like Teddy Roosevelt shows up and gets popularity and is mainstream like Teddy Roosevelt was, then yeah, we could get behind him. But until then, unfortunately,
well, yeah, now you're talking about like a populist candidate that comes through the ranks and everyone gets behind, and then he says, "Oh, by the way, I'm a third party." I mean, something like that feasibly could happen, sure. But my concern with like, oh, let's try to shoehorn this third party idea, that's not going to help you in 2028. Not going to really like.
Yeah, and that's why I say.
Well, yeah, obviously not, but why do we have to wait for things to get so bad where that's the only fucking way to save ourselves? Why can't we just finally fucking grow a fucking spine and just say enough is a fucking enough? Why can't we just do that, huh?
Because that's the thing, the neocons are the ones that control the media.
No, I actually disagree. I don't think it's the neocons. I think it's just normie motherfuckers who don't give a fuck.
It's the normie motherfuckers that listen.
Well, there's some validity in that statement, right? Because I mean, you can look at the trans movement, right? It went unchallenged for a long time, but then then you had like Joe Blow, who works a 12-hour shift and doesn't really involve himself with politics, started realizing that hey, his kid is being indoctrinated and talking about he believes he's some sort of like cat kind, gender or some nonsense. And so then the parents started to really get involved, and that's when you got the pushback. So there's some validity to, people who you would say they're normies that don't involve themselves in politics or don't kind of understand the rhetoric that's going on, that they finally get woken up and then take action. Enough people will have to get involved. As far
as to say, sorry for interrupting you. Fuck, I thought you were.
No, go ahead.
My bad, bro.
No, yeah, I'm done. I was just adding on there. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, no, I'd go as far as to say like the reason why. Okay, so this is gonna be. I don't know if this is gonna be controversial or not, but to be quite honest, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I feel like the reason why MAGA has gone as far shit as it is now compared to like 2016. I actually liked it in 2016. I really did. Looking back, it was a fucking decent presidential run, and it was a decent, presidential Well, fucking, it was a decent time, right? Before fucking, 2020? It was decent, right? I'll go ahead and say that, right? I liked Trump's first term, and I think it was better that way. But, like, the problem is, right? Now it's just like people, they keep on falling into the cycle, like, oh, it doesn't matter if it doesn't affect me. The reason why I believe Trump was even elected in 2016 was because of so much shit being jammed down everybody's fucking throat. So even the normies had to be
What
like,
did you
well,
like about
Fuck
Trump in
this.
2016?
Well, for one, I liked how, let's go ahead and, gas prices aren't fucking $7 in some parts of the country where it used to be fucking $3. I mean, I liked
Where
that.
is it? Where is it $7 in the
Go
country?
to fucking St. Augustine, Florida. It's fucking expensive as fuck there.
So
bro. I took a vacation
yeah, but it's not.
there, and it wasn't even that expensive until like fucking 2 months ago after this fucking Iran.
The
It's not
peak.
$7, but in
It's
my
not
area,
$7.
gas
But so
prices are $5.
here's the funny thing though about the gas thing, right? So
What's up?
the peak right now, I think the highest based on, and by the way, it's all speculation. Like the U.S. gets most of its oil from itself. It gets a large portion from Canada. There's not a lack of
Yeah.
it. This is all speculation based on the war and the market, right?
No,
Same
it's
thing.
based-
That's just
yeah,
what
the
it's
market.
based on.
Petrodollar.
So,
That's what our currency's
when,
based off of. Yeah. So, when shit happens, in
but if
other
you
countries,
compare
it
the
fucks up our
highest,
shit too.
if you compare the current highest now,
Yeah.
it's
what's that?
actually lower. I think the highest right now is like four something is the highest peak in some places. But
no,
if
I've
you
seen
compare
shit,
that
here in
to,
Indiana, I've seen some
if-
shit going
hold
up
on.
to $5. I do not
If you-
agree with that.
well, I'm talking about like the average, like the United States average, right? So you have to take the average cross to see the impact on the people, right?
Of course.
So when you take the average, and you may have like one gas station somewhere that's like super high, but that doesn't reflect all of the America, right?
Obviously
But if you take the average, the highest it is right now under Trump, it's actually still lower than what the highest was under Biden. So really what you're doing is you're comparing Trump to Trump from when Trump actually had low gas prices.
yeah, but okay. Trump had lower
actually
gas
wanna
prices in
answer, 'cause I feel like I have a
2016.
better
That's the
counter.
point.
Here's
I
why
just think it's
like
funny.
Trump. Can I explain why I like Trump in 2016? I like Trump in 2016 because he was against the Iraq War and said that the Iraq War was a waste of time. They had no weapons of mass destruction. We can't be fighting Israel's wars. He called Marco Rubio a puppet for Major Adelson, saying that you shouldn't be serving the Adelson family or big billionaire donors. But then now in 2024, he's basically being what he was calling out Marco Rubio for, a Major Adelson puppet. He's went back on his stance on the Iraq war, and he's basically put us in war in Iran. And he's very hypocritical. Like he's in 2016, Trump was literally against the Republican establishment party and wanted a reform. Now he's sold out to those same people that were against him.
Okay, so we're going to the Iraq war now. So the Iraq war, like I can say that, I wasn't for going in. I was kind of against it, right? But now that America's involved, I do want America to win, right? Those are two separate positions.
Well,
So that's kind of my
separate
stance on it.
But Trump didn't want us involved point blank, period. And he even said that us getting involved was a mistake. We should have never gotten involved, point blank, period. And I feel like Trump going back on that issue just to please the billionaire neocons really disappointed me as a young Trump voter, not a young Trump voter, but a young Trump supporter. Because in 2016, I was like younger. I was a minor back then. I was a kid. I was basically like in middle school, going into high school, and I was like a big, huge Trump supporter. In fact, a few people that like Jeb Bush in my high school used to make fun of me for being MAGA, but I really liked MAGA because I liked watching Trump on TV actually like shitting on the Iraq war, saying that it was a mistake, saying we need more change in the Republican Party. And that's why like I've been behind Trump as many years until 2025 because of those issues. But then 2025, when he went back on those issues and basically being like George W. Bush. And it just disappoints me as someone that actually used to like MAGA and voted for Trump in 2024.
Right.
Like, I just don't like that Trump has went
Well,
back on those certain issues because I feel like he was really perfect having all these issues like in one thing. And like, I feel like he was a perfect candidate because he had all the good and then he's went back on some of the good issues. It's just not the same Trump.
okay, but we had to put this in perspective, right? So America First was never America Paralyzed, right? The argument against like nation building, I get that, indefinite occupation, democracy spreading at gunpoint. I get that, Iraq was 20 years, like 2 trillion, 150,000 troops. The Iran operation, like 40 days, no occupation, no Marshall Plan, no installing a government. They went in there, bombed the shit out of them. The regime itself was likely to be capable of making nuclear weapons soon, based on inspectors grading the uranium enrichment levels. That had to be, that was probably a legitimate concern, like, right? So it's a completely different beast than Iraq.
Yeah, but we're still fighting a pointless war, and we're still spending. We're not spending as much as the Iraq war, but we're still spending a lot of money.
Not pointless war. We go in there, we bomb the shit out of them some more. We take all their oil.
The Strait of Hormuz is closed though, and that's affecting all the war.
Yeah, we bomb them too.
Yeah, but how? Yeah, but that's the thing. We went there to collapse the regime.
Be a little facetious, but
hold on. We went there to collapse the regime, correct? Why is the regime still there? That's not achieving our goal. That's not winning.
Well, I'll tell you why the regime's still there. Because in Iran, you have the way their government structure is set up. It's like 4 different powers, right? You have like the elites, the kind of like the leaders, right?
I guess
then you have the army, and then you have the extremists wing, and then there's a 4th one. I forget what it is, but the way they've structured their government actually is in preparation for exactly what happened, because each one of those parties kind of has their own leader within that party that is kind of going back and forth to decide what to do. So when one dies, another guy just takes his place. So their government is actually designed around the leaderships getting cut off from any one of those 4 branches, and they can still operate. That's why. But that also doesn't mean anything if all their shit's blown up and they don't really have anything that they can like fight back with, right? So that's why they target their resources.
Yeah, but guess what the war? Yeah, but I got some pushback. Guess what the war is, right? The war is a regime change war, and Trump said he was going to collapse the regime, put a new regime there, and free the Iranians. He wants to keep advocating for peace deals and all that, and the current regime that the Iranians that he promised is going to free. He's not freeing those people. He isn't achieving the goal. He said that he wanted to go regime change, and he's not regime changing, and that's a win in Iran's book.
Yeah, he deleted the current leaders.
And we're going to be in more wars.
He deleted the current leaders, right? He
only killed the old man. He killed the old man that already had cancer and was already going to die. That's not really
he killed multiple. What are you talking about? There was like multiple leaderships.
He didn't kill the current supreme leader. He didn't kill the president. He didn't kill the foreign minister.
Well, yeah, just because
he didn't kill the head of the military,
all of them. He killed more than just one. Are you saying he only killed one guy?
I didn't say he just killed one. Hold on. I didn't say he just. Hold on. Wait. I did not say he just killed one guy. I said he isn't killing the most important people. He didn't kill the current supreme leader, which is his son, the old man's son. The old man's son is still alive.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. When
the president's still alive.
One of the 4 leaderships gets blown up, someone in their ranks take the place. That's how their government's designed.
Yeah, but the foreign minister and the president were already.
Because guess what? If you
that's what I'm saying.
If you blew up those people, there would be other people that would take their position. You understand? That's how the government's structured.
What's the point of the war if we're not going to? If another person's just going to take the position? If we're not going to do regime change, what's the point of the war?
Well, it was to degrade their capabilities for nuclear weapons.
They're just going to rebuild because they're already buying stuff from Russia and China to rebuild all of that. We've already destroyed the nukes, so they don't have any nukes. We only went there for Israel's interest because Israel wants
Well,
to
they
destroy
didn't
Iran because
destroy
they see
nukes because
Iran
there
as a
wasn't.
threat.
It was the
It's not for
factories.
American interests.
Yeah. So that's one thing. Like if you kill one, you're gonna have others that just take the place. So like I said, that's how the
So
government's
what's the
structured.
point of the war? Why did we even do a war if we're not going to eliminate the regime? Because Trump himself said he's going to eliminate the regime, and yet you even admitted we can't eliminate the regime. So why are we in this war?
Well, my understanding, last I saw, is the kind of the narrative that they're running is that they basically were taking out the tyrannical government structure so that the people could actually rise up and make their own government.
Yeah, but the president's still there. The foreign minister's still there. The radical head of the IRGC, the guy that's on TV saying Americans should die, Israelis should die, he's still there. He's still in control. The IRGC police are still roaming the
there's
streets.
guys over there that's been saying that for years. Like they hate Americans, like over there.
Yeah,
So
so
that's
what's
just
the point
Islam
of going to war if we're
itself.
not finishing the job? Because that's what I'm saying is we went to war and
Well,
we
wait.
can't finish the job.
Okay, so what are you advocating for here? Do you want
I'm
boots on the
advocating
ground?
for us not to go on war at all and to actually not be
Well, no, you're asking
involved
what's
in the war at all. Because that's the thing. My criticism
right,
is
but you can't really have it both ways, right? You can't say
not having
in
both
one.
ways. My opinion.
Well, let me explain.
Hold on.
Let me
My
explain.
full opinion. Hold on.
Can I explain?
clarifying.
Can I explain?
I'm clarifying. I already know what your question is. I'm clarifying.
No,
I'm fully
I don't know if you
against the
do.
war.
Okay, that's fine. That wasn't what I was going to comment on. You're in one situation. What's the point of the regime change if we don't like take it, right, to some degree? But then the other side, you're also saying that, well, you didn't want anything to do with it because you really consider Iran like good reasons that we went in there for the reasons that were stated is a good reasons, right? I'm assuming. So you can't, like, we're already in there, right? So
Okay,
we're committed. So
when
what are we
I
going to do
say
now?
those other things, when I said those things, I'm saying that's what Trump's saying. When I said that why is the regime not ended, I'm not saying it because I want the regime to end. That's what Trump's saying. Is my point of bringing those stuff up is we didn't even achieve the goal of the war. So why fight a war if we can't even, for one, achieve the goal of the war?
I'll tell you why.
I'll tell you why.
Because it's really fun blowing up pedophiles.
So why not go after Israel? Israel has pedophiles. They literally have people that get have you not seen the
because
videos
that's a whataboutism. That's a whataboutism to the point. Hold on. Let's stick. There's a whataboutism to the point. Let's stick on Iran for a second here. So Iran actually has it in law where they can have child brides. So
and I disagree with that.
Okay, so we agree that they're shitbags. They hate Americans. They aren't really to be trusted. Why? I guess what is the? Let me play devil's advocate here, right? Like, why? What is bad about going and doing what we did?
It's because it's not benefiting us; it's benefiting Israel. If we restrained Israel,
wait, hold on.
About Iran, it's benefiting Israel because that's the thing. We're going in there to help another evil. Israel's just as evil as Iran, and you can't say they're not. You can't say Benjamin Netanyahu's good because
if the U.S. does something, if the U.S. does something for their,
that's another thing. We don't even have a plan. Trump didn't even have a plan. He just thought
if the U.S. does something that they can perceive to be a benefit and it happens to benefit another country that you disagree with, should they not do that?
What benefit are we getting when we're spending billions of dollars on that? The Strait of Hormuz is completely closed. What benefit is there?
I told you that they viewed it. They viewed it
is ruined because of this.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. They view the Iran as a threat because there was a report that came out in 2023 by the international, I'm gonna get this wrong, but it's basically an international atomic energy coalition, right? It's their job to go around and basically people who agree to certain conditions, treaties or whatever, they can go in and inspect their nuclear weapons, right? Or not their nuclear weapons, but their refinement, uranium refinement, to make sure they're not building nuclear weapons. And anyway, in 2023, it came out that one of them they found 83%. That is far
Okay,
and
but we've
above
already destroyed that in
beyond.
June.
There was that's far and above any level that you need from a civilian standpoint. Building nuclear weapons. Do you know what level it takes to build a nuclear weapon? What refinement level?
No, but we've already destroyed the nuclear
90,
weapons in June
90
2025.
right. But I'm making a point here. 90%. 90% is so they were like very close. And also when I don't know if you knew this about refinement, but the first like going from 1 to 20% takes the longest. And then once you go past that, it actually gets faster and faster to get to higher levels. So even going back to before, like right after the strikes or around that time when it came out and they said they had 60% refinement, that is not that far away as far as timeline goes to making nuclear armaments. So would you consider Iran with nuclear armaments to be a threat to America?
I don't agree with Iran having nukes, but however, we've destroyed the nuclear program in June 2025, Midnight Hammer. So why the war now? Not only that, but I don't agree with Iran or Israel having nukes at all.
The state. I'm pretty sure the 60% statement came out after they didn't. That was, I think that whole thing where they bombed it and they said it was done. I don't think that was the case really. I think that was just kind of like propaganda, honestly.
So that was propaganda from Trump when he said himself, "Hey, I ended Iran's nuclear program." So you're saying Trump lied to us on that?
I'm saying it was the U.S. government just saying something to make themselves look good, right?
So why should we get behind this war if they're going to lie to us about the war proceedings?
Well, no, we're not discussing getting behind the war. We're discussing, is the strike a bad or a good thing? And you seem to say it's a bad thing, but you also said that you don't want Iran to have nukes. But yet we discussed the refinement levels.
We've already destroyed the arsenal because that's the thing. You can't say like.
Well, no, you're assuming that destroyed their capabilities, and that's all they had.
Okay, so hold on, Dan. Wait, I can defend myself. Hold on. So what's the proof of them having nukes in 2026? Where's the proof of them having nukes in 2026?
Well, the proof comes from the last time. The proof comes from the uranium enrichment to potentially build the nukes. I'm not saying they had nukes. I'm saying that I'm asking you, should you leave a threat that is very close to the refinement levels of making nuclear warheads? Should you leave them alone, or should you take action against them? Someone like Iran.
Why does Iran want to enrich uranium in the first place? It's because Israel already has nukes and keeps threatening them. So that's the thing. In order to convince Iran to completely give up the nuclear program, we need to restrain Israel from having nukes. So that way, none of them can have an excuse of making nukes. You know what? If y'all want to both nuke each other, none of y'all should have nukes. None of y'all should have uranium. None of y'all should be enriching uranium.
You'll get no.
And Iran, hold on, wait, let me fully finish. Iran has made the excuse multiple times that they feel threatened by Israel, and that's why they won't give up the uranium program. It takes away their excuse if we restrain Israel.
So that would be contingent on you trusting Iran to do that, right? That's the first thing. Second, if
they don't do that, then we have the right to go after them. But we can't just let
hold on. You just talked. Let me talk. Let me get a response out. So secondly, you won't get a disagreement from me on Israel having nukes being a problem, right? Like, there's many things I don't like about Israel. But what I'm discussing from before was just the idea of take Israel out of the picture, because you keep going to that, and I'm asking just a simple question.
For their interests.
Well, hold on.
Speak, Triton.
I'm just asking, if the U.S. has data to show that a hostile country potentially is very close to building nuclear armaments, and they've chanted death to America for a long time, would it not be a good thing for them to crush that to any degree that they see fit for American interest? Now, whether that benefits another country, I can even grant that, But just because it grants another country's benefit doesn't necessarily mean you should restrain yourself from protecting your country.
I think we should have done like what we did Midnight Hammer, go bomb their nuclear sites, and if they respond, then have a war instead of the way we
Well,
did.
wait a minute. That's what we did. We bombed everything.
Yeah, but that's not what
That's
we
what we
did.
did. We
now,
bombed everything.
because
Bombed
that's the
everything.
thing. We bombed everything in 2025, but 2026, because that's the thing. You don't have any evidence that that's propaganda. Because I'm under the impression that they've already had destroyed the nukes. So my question is, if they've already destroyed the nukes, why go after them again in 2026? Whenever we destroyed the nuclear program already.
They're saying that was one of the reasons why they went in, was 2026, was to further degrade their military capability and ability to make nuclear armaments.
Well, I mean,
that's just the excuse they used. They're really using it because Bibi Netanyahu has begged them for 40 years. For 40 years to bomb Iran.
Yeah, no. Bibi's been in the news going back to the 90s. Every time you see the guy, he was talking about how Iran is a few days away from building a nuclear weapon. I know that.
Every single time. And that's why I don't agree with the war, because we're doing it for their interest and their interest only. If we were doing it for Americans' interest fully, then I would support it. But we don't.
So now that we're in there, right? And it's a situation of you can kind of. It's kind of. I guess let me put it into an analogy standpoint, right? Like, let's say you are at the bar with your buddy, right? And he's your boy, and you guys go way back. And then he gets in a fight with someone, but he starts it. He's in the wrong. Are you gonna, now that he's committed, he's in there, are you gonna stand up and have his back against whoever else comes up? Or are you gonna sit there and critique him on like, I don't know, you shouldn't have done that, or maybe you handle that after the fact?
I mean, if he fully started it and it wasn't in self-defense and he's the one starting it, no, I'm not going to defend him, because it's like, you're the one starting it. But however, if the situation was he was randomly attacked, then yeah, defend my boy, because that's what you do. You defend your friend.
No, I would fundamentally disagree.
You can't really. You gotta let him defend his own battle, because if you're gonna start
if he's my buddy, if he's my guy, and we know each other, and he's my friend, I'm going to back him so he doesn't get hurt, and we're gonna handle our shit right then and there, and then after it's all said and done, then I'm gonna take him aside and be like, yeah, what the fuck, and then we're gonna have it out between the two of us. But I'm not gonna do it then and there, because that's not I would view that as the right way of doing things.
Well, yeah, but you
gotta have your guys back.
You're not in a bar fight. You're in a fight with another country. So
but why?
It's an analogy. It's an analogy.
I know it's an analogy, but it's like I disagree with that analogy, because if your friend's the one starting all these fights, are you just gonna keep taking your hit?
40 years, by the way.
In fact, I'm going. Hold on, wait, Dan, stop, because I actually want to combat this, right? Because I'm glad you brought this analogy up, because let's say your buddy's the one starting all these fights, and then you're going in and you're taking damage for your buddy, you're going to jail for your friend, and you're doing all that, but then your friend
now you're expanding the analogy.
Yeah, but would you want? Oh my God, can I speak my full point without people?
You keep interrupting people. Well, yeah, go ahead.
It's my show anyways. But anyways. That's the thing with the whole analogy thing. It's just like, if your friend is going on starting all these fights and you're taking all these punches from these people, defending that one friend, and that one friend doesn't have your back when it's their turn to defend you, should you really be friends with that friend? And that's what Israel is. Israel wants America to have its back on all these wars with Iraq, Iran, but then when it's time for them to help us with Venezuela or other wars, they don't want to help. They don't want no part in it. But then they want
to. My analogy had nothing to do with Israel, by the way. It was about the U.S. and going in and bombing Iran.
Why would you bring up the analogy anyway? Because why did we even go to Iran anyway?
My point is that now that we're committed, shouldn't we want the U.S. to win?
I mean, obviously,
Yeah,
because I'm for my
obviously, because we're
country, but it
citizens
doesn't
here, but we
mean
wouldn't have to.
Okay.
We wouldn't even be in this
So
situation in
what
the
does
first
winning
place.
look like then? Under your
Not
what under you?
this. Not
winning
Well,
this.
looks like getting
what
a
would be
peace.
winning?
Winning would be getting a peace deal and actually making
Okay.
sure that the Strait is not fully under control and bringing back to normal and actually restraining Israel for a change as well. That's winning in my book.
Yeah. Well, they've had multiple deals like recently where like they would agree to something, they would open it, then Iran would like break it or something else would happen. So he's trying to make a peace deal. So I guess
But Israel
beyond a
also
Was that?
violated the peace deal because one of the deals, it
yeah.
was basically to stop the war in Lebanon. But then the next day, Israel continued to bomb Lebanon, and Iran got pissed about that because Israel's
Mm,
still bombing Lebanon, still bombing Christian villages, Muslim villages, and
right.
Iran specifically put that in one of the deals of, hey, we agreed to this if Israel also stops bombing in Lebanon. But then the U.S. tried to lie and say, no, we didn't agree to that, even though they agreed to that in Pakistan.
So let's say I grant that, right, and I think there's some truth to that. Where Israel's a problem, but you just mentioned that hey, you'd want a peace deal. Trump's trying to do a peace deal. What other than that would look like winning to you? Like what should we go in there and take the oil? Should we leave them alone? Should we appoint a new regime? Should we let them figure it out and hopefully everything works out? What exactly should be the next steps?
I feel like we need to fully just leave the Middle East altogether and focus on our own issues. That's what I
Triton.
fully believe.
Triton. That is a very loser thing in my opinion because we leave the Middle East. What the fuck do we have now? We're no longer at the point we are right now. But let me go on and say this, right? This is not winning. Also, that whole ceasefire thing, both of them, Iran and Israel, break the ceasefire. I
This
feel like the winning isn't just going here and fucking, doing the whole thing about, oh, let's just fuck up Iran. No, I think winning would be dealing with Iran first and then dealing with Israel, right?
Dealing with Israel how?
The same way we deal with Iran, okay?
So you want to carpet bomb them?
not carpet bomb, but
No,
restrain their nuclears and make them actually give up the
Trident, don't
nuclear
put words in my
program.
mouth. Trident, don't put words in my mouth. Look, they do it enough to other countries already. What's wrong with doing it back to them, huh? I
Okay,
mean,
so
at this point in
if that's
time,
what would be the U.S. justification for doing that?
we have so many justifications. We have the fact that they keep dragging us into war. Do we ask them to do something and they don't do it, they let us die. We've had numerous incidents where they've been figured out to be,
Okay, well, wait. They drag us into wars, but
let
the
me finish
government is
real quick.
agreeing to go into the wars, right?
Yeah, if you let me finish, I will explain on that. Yeah, no,
Okay.
they drag us into wars that our government has to accept. They've done multiple things like espionage, not full-on espionage to where, fucks everything up, but enough to where we can catch them and say, hey, knock that shit off, which an ally should not be doing anything of that sort of caliber. Thirdly, wow, we fucking help form their country and they fucking do something to our USS Liberty. That's so awesome, bro. And anybody who tries to defend that, I think, is not being in good faith because most naval vessels in the U.S. at that time had the United States fucking flag top mast. This wasn't fucking 2025. This was the 70s, by the way. So, I mean,
Okay.
I think there's a lot of issues over the past, not even just 40 years, 60 years. We're not getting a good deal after literally basically forming their country. We helped create their country. I mean, I think since we created their little country over there in the Middle East, we should be entitled to say, you know what, you're not really doing the whole being a good country to the person who helped you out. And, we should probably deal with that. And you know what? Whatever outcome, I can't. See, the issue is, I think we should retaliate. I don't care what. I hope the U.S. wins the outcome, but if it's another fucking America versus British Empire type deal and Israel takes over, well, to be fair, if they fought good enough for that to happen, then good for them. But I feel like this shouldn't keep on.
Can we take it back to the points you made though? Just discuss those for a minute. So I wrote down three here that I got from that. They drag us into war. They're engaged in some espionage stuff that is counter to. I guess I don't know what you mean by that. And the USS Liberty incident. So let's take on the first one. So the drag us into war. So if a country asks us to go drag us into war, and then the U.S. government agrees with it, why is that country's fault?
Why? Because
if I ask you to come with me, we're gonna go beat the shit out of some guys, and you're like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, dude, you're my buddy. Come on. And you're like, all right, fine. And you go, and then we beat the shit out of them. Afterwards, can you like come to my house and club me in my sleep? Right? Like, does that make any sense?
No, but I mean, this is geopolitics we're talking about. So I mean,
but it has to make logical sense. It has to make logical sense, right?
You should probably know that more than anybody, especially people in politics. So let's try not.
Well,
to
well, no, we have to use logic to even make sense of any of this.
We cannot, because the whole thing with the Middle East is illogical to begin with.
Okay, so you're using logic to say that statement.
Yeah.
You're using logic to say that statement.
It's not black and white like you're in my profile picture. There's shades of grays that make up that black and white.
Okay, but the point being, like, why is that inherently a reason for the U.S. to aggressively strike Israel with bombs?
Because
basically,
it's been going on for 40 years. You're gonna let your friend do that to you for 40 years? I don't think you would you? If you do, you're done.
Well, no, you would just cut ties with the friend, right? You wouldn't like go to his house and like club him into sleep.
Some people would.
Yeah, those people are psychopaths.
People are psychopaths.
So
yeah, and you know, who's more inclined to be a psychopath?
So the second thing, they did some espionage.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What can you be more specific about that? I don't know what you mean by that.
How did they get the nuclear weapons? Go ahead and ask that real quick. How'd they get it?
I don't know. Are you saying they got through espionage? Like they stole it from us?
Yes, you can literally look it up.
Okay.
They did.
Okay. So because they did that, that gives us reason current day to bomb their place, their shit.
That's why we're going after Iran, right? They've done stuff to us in the past, and we're pissed off about that.
Well,
right?
no. The reason stay for Iran is they've repeatedly said that they wish America to die, and they said that they want to. They said that they want to. They don't want them to have a nuclear armament. That's the reason. So it's kind of like two things. You need to have both of them together.
Look, if we're going off of that, Iran chanting death to America, they have extremist groups in their ranks, and they have nuclear weapons. Israel
that's the government saying that. That's government. That's government. People holding the government.
People in the Israeli parliament have said that too. Like I said, it's not
people in Israeli government positions of power have chanted death to America.
Fucking death to Goyim, yeah. Fucking America, yeah.
Well, I want to bring up a point.
Can you show me?
I don't want this to be an example. I actually want to bring up the point. Israel has actually attacked the USS Liberty and got away with it, and also there's a lot of stories that military troops have told me personally about Israeli troops shooting at them during the Iraq War, and George W. Bush covering that shit up because it's Israel. Israel's been going after Americans, going after American troops, going after Christians in Gaza.
We can shift to that topic. I'm more than willing to discuss that topic, but I would like to know: can you show me evidence of people in power in government structures chanting "Death to America" from Israel?
Not right now. It's a debate. I'll be able to show you later, but right now, no.
Okay. Do you have any idea of when it happened or who it was?
Somebody in Israeli parliament, and it was recent, around 2022 to 2024, yes.
Okay.
They weren't
All right.
Oh yeah,
necessarily
and the
saying
real point
death
too
to
is like they
America in
go
the.
after Christians and pretend it's an accident. And I have
Well,
all the evidence
I
on
just
the
want to
fucking
clear things
Lebanon
up
chat.
about their wording. They're not Iranians, so they're not going. They're not Iranian extremism, so they're not going to say "death to America." They're gonna phrase it in a different way. I mean,
Actually,
that's
hold
why
on.
you
I
hire a
got you.
Jewish lawyer. They find loopholes in the way things are said, so
Okay.
they're gonna
So
say it in a
it's
different
not.
way.
So they didn't say death to America. They said something else.
It's
Yeah, they
implied.
don't.
It's
They don't
implied.
exclusively say. Hold on. They don't say "death to America" like Iran does. They say it in a different way.
Right.
Because I've seen a clip,
Which
and
is
I'm going to
what?
try to find it. They say any politicians in the West that gets in our way will be punished. Anyone that gets in our way will be punished. They're basically
Yes.
that's their way of threatening. That's their
Yeah.
way of saying
It's a
"death to
massive
America."
loophole.
It's not
That's
saying
Okay.
they do it the smart
Well.
way. They do it to the way where they can actually control you. Iran
yeah.
does it in an aggressive way. That Israel does it in a way where they're like,
So
if you oppose
yeah.
us, we'll do it. If you follow us, we spare you. That's how they do it.
So listen, if you go to my YouTube channel, when I get into when I go into long form debates, I have a thing at the top that people read out, and the first thing it says that they introduce me with is the goyim your rabbi warned you about, right? So it's kind of odd that I'm gonna have to defend this angle a little bit, but because you're putting me in this position, I think that's a bad argument because punish someone doesn't inherently mean that they're going to kill them. Punishment can mean many different things. It could be like economically. It could be like the way they're perceived. I mean, there's many different ways. Like their reputation. Punishment can come in very different, like varying degrees, and doesn't mean that they're gonna nuke you.
How do they punish?
I'm just saying that that's a bad argument, guys.
It's a.
By the way,
bad
Dan,
argument, but
let me
like-
have this. I don't want to be 2v1 because chat's already complaining about it being 2v1. But that's the thing. It's just like, it's not a bad argument because Israel's a foreign government. They shouldn't have control in our politics at all. And Israelis shouldn't be on TV saying that they're going to punish or do anything with American politicians, point blank, period. That's America's job to do that, not Israel's job. It's not Israel's job to do. And Trump plays into, and Maga, they all play into the influence. And that's why I
Right.
say that MAGA is unsuccessful because MAGA was built to fight against foreign influence, and they play into foreign influence. They play into a lot of these stuff, and they went back on a lot of principles, and that's what's destroying them. And that's what's going to destroy them in the midterms is all the principles that they have went back on.
So I get the points you brought up, but what I'm hearing is so far we've gone down the list. Epstein files that is currently still ongoing, but the start of it was a shit show, and it's kind of a shit show now. We've got going to war with Iran, but we haven't really established that the Iran situation is inherently necessarily a bad thing for the U.S. It just is a seemingly positive for Israel. That seems to be the argument. And that's kind of the only thing that I'm seeing. So if I'm going by a counter here, right, and I go over the stuff that I listed about the border security, trans movement, abortion, all these other what I would consider huge victories that is part of the MAGA movement, then I don't think they compare. I'm sorry.
They do compare because that's a lot of big L's, especially with mass deportations. There's still 10 million illegals in our country, and there's bringing more. In fact, he's saying he's going to bring in more Chinese students, more H-1B visas. That's stuff he was originally
H-1B visas is down by like 80-something% or some shit like that because they slapped 100,000. Yeah, well, those will sunset, and those have a time limit.
Taking away from the Mexicans and giving it to
because
the Chinese
here was a funny thing about how that went down, right? When they put past that rule where you got to pay like $100,000, because we were told like the visa thing, like basically the next Elon Musk is coming over, and it's like, well, the next Elon Musk would give a shit about $100,000 to come over on that, but it drastically cut like the population that was coming over. So I think that is I think that's in the positive on my side, the way it's being handled, because there's many more less than what was under Biden.
I mean, my final thoughts on this is like, I mean, the more and more I look, the more I think the American people just disagree. They think, including me, that MAGA has taken a turn for the worst. It used to actually mean something the first time it was around. Now it's just basically establishment bullshit. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a fucking fortune teller. I'm not a fucking prediction. I don't have a track record of predicting shit. But I just feel like the midterms are going to be awful fucking close, or not even going to favor Trump at all.
Maybe.
And if that's the case, then I mean, at that point in time, I mean.
But would that inherently let's say that doesn't go well, right?
Yeah.
I don't even think when we're talking about is the topic of the discussion is MAGA a success or a failure. I think you have to have some way to measure it. And by all the measurements under what I'm looking at, it seems to be a giant success.
But your measure is based
now
on
you
your
can
own personal, own personal ideology, right? You see the the laws against abortion as a net positive, right? But what if somebody doesn't really care much about that and sees it as hold
on,
but,
we're judging MAGA against MAGA's paradigm. And MAGA movement is anti-abortion.
I mean, well, yeah.
So I don't give a shit about what some atheist or someone else, retard thinks.
No, there's some MAGA people who think it's good, but don't give too much credit about it because it's.
Yeah, but the exception doesn't make the rule. The exception doesn't make the rule. If you can find a few MAGA supporters that
make the rule, obviously, yeah, we know this.
Right. Okay. But so once again, I think there's been a lot of benefits.
Black and white. It's not completely black and white.
There's been some benefits, but there's been a lot of fucking non-benefits.
I'm actually gonna go as far as to say, right, there's a decent bit of positives, but there's also a decent bit of negatives as well, in my personal opinion.
Well, of course, with any administration, there's gonna be.
The negatives.
But we still can have a better form, is what we're saying.
2016, I was politically active in 2016, and even back then I didn't really feel like it was as bad as it kind of is right now. Of course, that could be just my own personal bias getting in the fucking way, but I mean, I see plenty of other people my age saying it the same thing, man. I mean, it's just like either we're all delusional or something has got to give.
Well, no, you can have critiques over each of these issues, right? And that's why when I look at any politician, it's a by-issue stance. But I don't really give a shit about, like, the guy himself that much, right? That's why all the critiques, like, against Trump from the left really doesn't land that well, because it's like, oh, he used to be degenerate back, at one time. It's like, who gives a shit?
I want you to know. So I actually criticize Trump from a right-wing standpoint, not from a left-wing standpoint.
No, I get that. I'm saying that I understand that. I'm just saying that those allegations that come up, they try to make this moral high ground of, like, his character. They attack his character. At the end of the day, if he does the policies that I care about, I don't really care, right? Like, that's my viewpoint. So you can critique all these different things, but the particulars of each candidate doesn't necessarily make the whole, right? You have to look at it as the whole movement. What has it achieved? And even if it dies tomorrow, there's still been a large number of successes here that I consider a really big net positive.
I mean, yeah, well, fair enough. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say that's a decent point to bring up. But I mean, in that same vein, I mean, what do you think about, and I know this is just a sort of, what is it, equivalency, whatever the hell it's called. I mean, yeah, somebody can do a great thing, but have a bad track record. I mean, I don't know, man. Animal rights, who kind of pioneered animal rights in the 20th century? You know.
Actually, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so
you have to expand on that.
Same people that. Okay, so the thing I'm going to kind of expand is, like, yeah, I mean, this is more of an extreme example, and I know how fucking far-fetched this is, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it just for reference. the person who kind of pioneered and made the stretch for like mainstream animal rights was actually mostly, not completely, but mostly Adolf Hitler. But regardless, that's just a fucking thing to bring up. My point is, yeah, somebody can do great things, but does that completely outweigh the negative things they've done for their movement or themselves? And should we move past both of those? I believe in some cases, absolutely. There are some things that Trump has done bad that we should absolutely move past, just to look at the things he's done good with. Like I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you. Yeah.
Well, I'm not even saying look past.
Roe v. Wade shit was it was good, right? It was good. Right?
Yeah. I'm not even saying look past them. Critique them.
Fucking, the whole fucking shit. Literally, I still see people getting mad over Trump with that grab him by the pussy shit years later. It's like, bro, okay.
Yeah.
That's actually, I actually defended Trump a while back when I was young.
Like, first of all, that's a private conversation. Second of all, you've probably said worse in a fucking school classroom. But like, yeah, that's one of the things we should move past, right? But one thing I do not want to move past, because I think it's an insult to Americans, is, we're fucking giving billions of dollars to Israel still, okay? They probably have enough. They do actually have enough money at this point to that they're taking from us to fund their own socialized healthcare system for everybody in their fucking country. Which, to be fair, is not much. It's 6 million. We have more Jewish people in our country than they have in their entire fucking country.
Well, actually, it's worse than that, right? We actually give them money, and then they take it and they put it into bonds, I believe. So we're actually paying them interest on the money we give them.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely fucking stupid. Yeah. And
So
I feel like the worst case scenario is that we're being cheated by them anyway, right? Like, we're getting cheated no matter fucking what, right? We're fucking we're fucking going to war for them, and we're not even getting anything from it. I mean, I feel like the real reason me and Triton have an issue with the war in Iran, well, me specifically, I don't know about Triton, it's because, like, Israel's dragged us into it, and, like, I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you, man. Like, yeah, we should definitely win this war, but I feel like we're not going to. And if we do win the war, who gets the most benefit from it? You said oil? We actually don't get the oil first. Israel gets dibs on that shit, by the way. And Glitch brought it up, and that's absolutely true. They do get dibs on the oil first, and I think that's absolutely fucking ludicrous.
Also, Dan,
yeah, I think it's a. I'm all like, I can definitely see the critique of you look at the past adventures of the U.S., right, and where it goes, and the U.S. has a track record of going into some place, beating the shit out of everybody, and then leaving and being like, okay, you all get along now, and then trying to, like, establish some sort of like peace or whatever.
Yeah.
I think probably one of the critiques I could say on a lot of this is, yeah, the U.S. should start keeping what they kill, if you want to label it something like that.
Yeah.
We should. I see no reason why the U.S. couldn't expand. Right. I don't have any problem with that. We want to get Iceland. Sure, why not? We want to make that another state. Why not? I'm all for that. Like, I have no problems with that. But that once again, that's an American interest first standpoint. But yeah, when it comes to Iran, I can even concede that there's probably going to be a large benefit to Israel. My main point before was, if there is a hostile country that does mean to do the U.S. harm, and they do have refinement levels, a certain percentage that they could start building armaments, what is inherently wrong with stopping that and squashing that? I can't really say that there really is anything wrong with that.
No, there's not. There's not. I will agree with you on that. There's really not. There's not a.
I still disagree a little bit on that.
No, I mean, I do believe, like, if they do chant death to America. This is why I said we should also go after Israel, because they're threatening us in a more loopholey way, right? Like, we went after Iran for blatantly saying it. We fucking dropped a couple bunker busters on their nuclear facilities because they were openly saying it, and we know what they meant. But you don't have to be a fucking rocket scientist to understand what fucking Israel means when they're saying, any politician in the West who tries to get in our way, we will crush them. And you know who they're talking about. You know what they mean, despite the fact we even helped found their fucking country in the first fucking place. And I think we should drop a few fucking bunker busters on their fucking nuclear facilities. Too.
Well,
Say,
I think the
it.
way you guys get what you want, right? This is the only path forward that I see to get this, right? I don't think like coming out and saying that, you know, we should take drastic aggressive action towards Israel. I don't think that's a winning play. I think the winning play is on a local level in the US, get involved with politics and start pushing candidates that do not take money and are anti-APAC. And get them into power and get them into positions, and that's how you make real change. That's the only path forward I see.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. People always think it's the federal level. No, you get more at the local level because the local level influences the federal level in many cases.
Well, yeah. And we have a really great example, which I love to cite because I'm very pro Second Amendment.
Yeah.
For the longest time, all the Second Amendment guys in all the states, they wanted constitutional carry at a federal level. They wanted it so bad. They tried to push it, always got like something, you know, got knocked down, or they didn't push it forward. Even when Trump, you know, first term, that was a time to do it. He had the House and everything, but they didn't do it. And so eventually they said, okay, well, you know, fuck it. At a local state level, they started pushing it, and now there are more states that have it than don't.
Yeah.
And now it has real teeth in the future to go to the federal level because so many states have joined in. So yeah, change happens at a local level.
And I mean, I'm just gonna I'm gonna go ahead and finish off with this, man, because I got fucking work tomorrow. I mean, the whole thing was about, is the MAGA movement successful? I mean,
I'll give you an olive branch here. It really does depend on the way to measure it.
Exactly.
I'll just say that.
It depends on the way to measurement. But I'm going to just go ahead and say this, all right? We won't know for sure until after it's gone, okay? Like, so, I mean, the whole point of this, I mean, I'm a co-host here, man. And, I mean, there's things we disagree on. But, like, I'm going to go out and just be pragmatic here and just say it on the real, bro. Like, the people who want to support MAGA, they won't know if it's successful until after it's gone. And people who don't support MAGA and say, yeah, no, fuck it, it's not successful, well, they're going to be blowing smoke up everybody's ass because they won't even fucking know until it's gone either. So, I mean, we really don't know. But like you said, as of now, it's up to personal interpretation and beliefs, right? We really don't have any definitive answers. Yes, you can pass a lot of bills, right? But you won't know until, like, later on down the line till it's gone, right? Like, you know, it's just like you have to have a lot of time pass for a retrospective in order to kind of be able to say, you know what, yes. Because having a bunch of laws passed on the supporting side and then nothing else happening after that term is over, you don't know, right? Until, like, after, if the movement actually had enough ground to make an impact. And I believe if it makes an impact and continues to keep going, then absolutely it is successful, right? It's people who are successful typically have, and also movements, right? They typically have sort of sway after their big, how do I say it? Their big pump into the mainstream, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, after somebody has, you know, passed away, if they're successful, if you still remember them, right? You know what I'm saying? In some way, shape, or form, right? And they still have a legacy going on. We won't know about this until after, you know, years on down the line, after it's dead and gone, the movement itself, right? But in my opinion, I'm just going to, like I said earlier in the stream, okay? I'm not a wizard. I'm not good at predicting shit. I don't have a track record of it. I'm not a fucking, a seer. I'm not a fucking psychic. I just don't, I'm going to be honest, I think there are some elements that are going to be very successful, right? But the problem is those elements that I believe are going to be successful, I also believe have not been pursued recently by MAGA since, like, fucking what? Trump's first term, right? For example, I don't think they've been pursued properly. But I mean,
okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's up to interpretation, like you said, man. It really is.
Yeah, once again, my take is kind of a pragmatic approach. I look at all the different issues and then I ask myself, okay, which one is really important? Which one is maybe I don't like, but doesn't reach the same important level as the other things. And then I look at it from that way. Now, to your point, maybe in the near future, this all blows up and there's something really big that completely changed my mind and is a mar on it. And then yeah, you could come back and critique that and say, well, then that you could look at the whole movement as a whole as a negative. I'll mention one more thing that I think is a really big positive.
Sure.
When MAGA started, one thing it also did was the movement made it okay, I guess you could say, to discuss your religious stance and your religion paradigm in politics. And I think that was a really big thing too, because pretending that is not something that is important and influences your morals, I think is a misguided stance. I'm of the opinion that, they like to talk about separation of church and state. I don't believe separation of church and state actually is a thing, because anyone who goes into office, they're going to be voting on their ethics. Where do they inform their ethics from? They usually inform it from their religion. So if an Islamic guy gets in power, if a Jewish guy, if a Christian guy, they're all going to vote based on their moral ethics of their religion. So it's just a fantasy that
that's a great point.
It's a fantasy that church and state is separate. It's not. So I think having Christians being able to say, no, we want to be represented. No, we don't want all this degenerate shit. We want to vote on our ethics, and making that okay to have those debates, have those discussions. I think that has been a big thing. And I don't think you're going to be able to put that genie back in the bottle. I think it's out forever.
I mean, if that is the case, which, I do agree.
I actually do have a counter to that.
I do believe that's a good thing, and that could possibly make it to where, it might actually be a successful movement in some way, shape, or form.
But I actually have a counter to that, though. The reason why I think that part's being ruined, because you have all these Jewish supremacists like Randy Fine and all these people coming in and saying, if any of these Christians come and criticize Israel, then they'll no longer MAGA, and writing these anti-Semitism laws just so they can jail those people just criticizing Israel. And I feel like that's the thing. Those Jewish supremacists coming into
I have a point on that.
Hold on, I just want to say this. I feel like those Jewish supremacists being tolerated in any way coming into the movement is ruining the movement and scaring a lot of people away from the movement.
I mean, yeah.
Now go ahead.
So I completely agree about the whole anti-Semitism laws. I think that's I'm completely against that. The Anti-Semitism Act, it was passed the House in 2024. It was really big, 320 to 91, and with Republicans backing it, unfortunately. It uses the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism, but something you should for that specific act, over 1,200 Jewish academics signed a letter opposing it because they said it conflates criticism with Israel's government with anti-Semitism. So what happened with that, the bill stalled in the Senate over bipartisan free speech concern. So, but I do agree that is something that I would have a critique of just Republicans in general of pursuing, not just MAGA.
And I feel like MAGA should not, and I feel like my criticism of MAGA is a lot of MAGA should withdraw, or at least speak out and disagree with those Jewish supremacists that are in the MAGA movement, spreading those ideologies, because those ideologies don't have a place in MAGA because it contradicts what MAGA is supposed to be for, but yet for some reason, a lot of these Jewish supremacists don't get as much pushback from the MAGA crowd, only from the America First crowd and outside, and even the lefties. But that's the thing.
I think a lot of MAGA was against that, though. Too. I think a large portion of MAGA was against that. I mean, the MAGA populace, they are freedom of speech advocates, right? So I don't think that you'd be hard pressed to find MAGA supporters that would be against that type of bill.
So but I feel like the problem that lies therein, and those were the original MAGA people, right? You know what I'm saying? A lot more came into the movement, and in my opinion, they have sort of hijacked.
And Dan, I kind of want you to let me and Mo talk about this, because I actually want to hear Mo's full opinion on it, because I am curious. So, because and it is still on topic, but it's kind of going off topic a little bit, but it relates to like people, the original MAGA people. What's your like? If you don't know about this, then that's fine. But what's your opinion on Trump basically ousting people like Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, and all these other people, and even like Nick Fuentes, without naming them, all the people that are against the Iran war? What is your opinion on him ousting people like Thomas Massey and people that are against like certain issues? Do you think he should oust those
Um,
people? Do you think that those people were wrongfully ousted? What's your opinion on all that?
well, like politics, and I take it issue by issue, right? I have to look at the individual and what was said, and what was the point of contention.
All
I
right,
can
so
tell
I
you
can
with Tucker.
actually do that then one at a time. So, out of all the
Yeah, so like with
individuals I listed, which individual do you know the most about out
probably
of one? Tucker
Tucker Carlson
Carlson.
and Alex Jones probably.
So what's your opinion on their feud with Trump and like on them being ousted from MAGA? Do you think they're not fully MAGA, or do you think Trump just has it all wrong? Like, what's your opinion on all that?
Well, this is going to go into the character assessment of Trump, right? Like, and Trump's character, I think this wouldn't be a surprise to anyone. When you look at him, he's the type of guy that you're either with me or against me, right? And if he thinks you're against him in any way, then he's gonna he's gonna have things to say about it. Now on the Tucker point, I watch a lot of Tucker. I really need to catch up on like his current stances, but Tucker, from some of the things he said, I feel like he might be going in left field. Now but that doesn't necessarily that doesn't necessarily mean that I think Trump should like oust him or say he's ousted or whatever. I'm just saying that Tucker seems to be kind of an oddball that I need to kind of update myself on his current situation.
Which I agree
the
with
Alex,
Tucker's criticisms, but however, I will agree with you that I think he's an oddball, and it's because of his ties to Qatar, the UAE, Peter Thiel, and his ties with foreign influence. Because Tucker Carlson's going out saying how he's against foreign influence in our government for Israel, but then it seems like he himself is being influenced by foreign entities as well. And it's like, we don't want Qatari influence either. We want
yeah, that's
full
stuff I'm not
American.
really. I've heard some of the allegations, and I'm not sure what's fact, what's speculation.
I think we're on the same boat on that because I'm not sure what's
Yeah.
fact and not. But one thing I will say it's really sus that Tucker Carlson is always in the golf, always talking to the leaders. He's even talked to them like off camera. Now I don't know the conversations of them on off camera, but I just
Hmm.
disagree with Tucker Carlson being too close to foreign leaders, especially when you're supposed to be an American journalist. Like, don't get me wrong, like he has a right to talk to them like on TV and ask them questions, but I don't feel like he should be talking to them in private. Like, oh hey, you're my friend in private. Oh, let's go have a drink. Oh, let me go buy a house in Qatar and let me basically give you advice in private. It's like you're a
Well, I
journalist.
think, yeah, I
You're not
think
supposed to
one
be
of
their
the
friend.
allegations was he leaked something that he wasn't, or something to that nature. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
So once
apparently
again, I need to go and look it up.
which just say you could, I definitely recommend you look at a sub because I actually would be right, but to say if you look it up, you'll basically find Tucker Carlson saying that he was being investigated because he talked to someone within Iran. And a
Hmm.
lot of people were speculating that it was someone within the Iranian government. Tucker hasn't said if it was someone with the Iranian government, but however, he did admit that he was talking to someone in Iran, whether it's a civilian, someone in government, about the war, and that's why him and Joe Kent were being investigated because they were talking to that person in Iran about it, and they leaked
Hmm.
something that they wasn't supposed to leak, basically.
Okay. So yeah,
And
I
I
mean,
don't know what it's leaked or none of that, but I just know that Joe Kent and Tucker Carlson were both investigated because the DOJ accuses them of leaking something, and they just
yeah.
said that they
So
talked about
if
stuff like
let's assume for the sake of argument that those things are true, right? if that is true with this specific situation with Tucker Carlson, then yeah, Tucker should be dealt with, right, to
Oh yeah,
whatever the
no, dealt
law
with for
is.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the Alex Jones thing, I'm actually that's probably the one that I don't know too much about. Like, do you know what was said or like what?
Yeah, so Alex Jones
Because
is
I'll just
actually
say
the
up front,
one.
I like Alex
No, I'm.
Jones, like right. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Alex Jones is actually that's the thing. Alex Jones is actually the one that's been least hard on Trump because he still likes Trump. He believes that the
okay.
Democrats are more evil, even after Trump has attacked them and even done all that. And Alex Jones criticized Trump for going in basically because he's doing it for Benjamin Netanyahu and not for American interest. And Trump got mad and said, Alex Jones is no longer MAGA. He's been attacking me for several years. But then if you look at Alex Jones clips, he's literally been saying, I still like Trump. I will always like Trump. I just don't agree with this war. And Trump's framing it as Alex Jones betrayed him. He's betrayed MAGA. But Alex Jones hasn't even went as hard as Tucker Carlson, or not. From my knowledge, he hasn't contacted any foreign government. So I feel like Alex Jones, there's definitely no justification on kicking him out of MAGA, especially when he's actually, unlike Tucker Carlson, he's actually sacrificed everything. Even in 2015, everyone hated Alex Jones for being the first one to interview Trump because Trump was really hated in 2015, and Trump had to basically do a lot of persuading, and Alex Jones got a lot of shit. And then Alex Jones, just years later, disagrees with Trump minorly on the Iran war, basically because of the whole foreign influence with Israel. And then Trump's just like, oh, Alex Jones, you're no longer MAGA. I hope you lose your fucking lawsuit. Ha ha ha. InfoWars is going away. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, it was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So that would be the character critique of Trump. And, what can I say? Like, yeah, he's got some flaws.
Well, not just the character critique of Trump, character critique of MAGA as a whole, because everyone follows it, because everyone like Laura Loomer, Mark Levin, all these people in MAGA and the MAGA accounts are saying, yeah, Alex Jones is no longer MAGA. Let's get rid of him. Let's oust him. And a lot of them have even begged Trump beforehand to oust Alex
Well,
Jones.
a lot of those guys, though, they don't necessarily like Alex Jones, right? So I think you can look at that from two different views, right?
Too, by the way, they rather,
yeah,
especially Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro, they wanted Hillary Clinton to win over Trump. That's how much of never Trumpers they were. And then now all of a sudden, when Trump's popular, now for Trump, it just makes you wonder, like, why is Trump listening to those guys over Alex Jones, a guy that's had Trump's back since the very beginning? It makes you kind of question the MAGA's motives, because Trump's switching the roles of, hey, these people are MAGA, but these people that had my back since 2016, they're no longer MAGA because of foreign policy and the war.
I separate, when I'm critiquing like a movement, I separate that from Trump and his shenanigans. So that's the way I view it. Like, that's why if Trump has a bunch of things that he posts on Twitter that sounds retarded, that at the end of the day, I really only care about what the political movement has achieved and what have they gotten done, right? Or what have they done that I don't like.
When you see everyone going along with it, though, and it's not just Trump, when Trump makes the orders,
not everyone goes along with it, though.
Going along with it and basically ousting people for just one criticism. It's like, why are we ousting people based on one criticism? Like, not everyone's going to agree.
Yeah, but that's just infighting. That's just infighting. You're going to have that you're going to have that with any group. Like, and I think it's unfair to say that all of MAGA goes behind it. I mean, many people would consider me MAGA. I don't necessarily go along with it, right? I view it case by case.
Yeah, but see, the difference between you and some random boomer is you don't just watch Fox News all the time and base your opinions on that. You actually have like an open mind. And that's what I like about you, even though we don't agree on everything.
Sure.
I invited you on the show because I know you have an open mind. I know you'll be honest with your opinions, and I know you're not just going to follow some propaganda slop. Whereas the people watching Fox News and people that are actually like in MAGA, the voters, all they're doing is watching all these propaganda accounts, and when the propaganda accounts are saying this person's not MAGA and this person's not MAGA, it's basically creating a lot of infighting when there shouldn't be infighting. Like there should just be disagreements instead of all this infighting of this person should be ousted, no, this person should be ousted, because that's not an organized movement when there's everyone's trying to oust each other.
Yeah, well, and to be fair, like, look, inside MAGA, I would say there is a subgroup where what Trump says is gospel, right? But you also have a subset group that recognizes the political movement for what it is and what it's trying to achieve, and it is not afraid to critique Trump or the movement based on each issue. And Alex Jones is an example of that. I'm an example. There's many others. It's not a small group. So I really think that, and that's why I look at the advancement of the whole versus like individual or trying to like separate them into particulars. And I consider Trump a particular. Like he's one of the, yes, he's the one who started it, but just because someone starts an idea and it gets a movement behind it doesn't mean they own that idea.
So you think that like, I mean, obviously, so do you think that there's going to be like a MAGA like after Trump, and that MAGA could be reformed better? Do you think MAGA can fix all the current? Because that's the thing, they have done good, but do you think they could do better and fix like the foreign wars issue and all these issues in the future if we elect someone other than like JD Vance or something like that? Or do you think we'll need someone like JD Vance in order to fix all these other issues?
Well, I'm not the biggest fan of JD Vance, the whole Palantir connection and all that.
See, I'm not either. That's what's really, because that's the thing. There are some stuff I do agree with.
To answer your question though, do I think MAGA could be reformed or whatever? I think that either MAGA will live on past Trump and it will find its footing and it'll go through whatever it needs to, or you'll just have another movement that comes up with the same core, like all the good core ideas, and will pursue probably more in line with what you want, maybe like, or what I want, where I want AIPAC to not have influence. That might be the bigger thing, because that is getting a lot of attention now, and that is getting more traction. And there's even been politicians, I forget, I think it was, who was it? I think it was a guy in Ohio who ran under like anti-AIPAC and he won, right? He's gonna win. So it is possible, and I think it just becomes a situation of what is that next movement going to be, or is it going to still be MAGA? It's just going to take on a different form and outlive Trump. I don't know.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, which I think that concludes our positions. Unless you have any more you want to get into, but I feel like we've got.
No, I'm good. I think we covered a lot of ground. I appreciate you having me on the show,
because I know we're gonna have a conversation on it the next time, and I don't know if Dan's gonna be available for this one or not. But May 19th we'll be doing the Thomas Massey thing, and I invited you on. What is based on what you know about Thomas Massey, what is your honest opinion on Thomas Massey? That way I can get like an honest like perspective, so I know for May 19th like what I'm getting myself into, basically. Terms on like
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know yet. I need to like look into this.
Well, the election's going to be May 19th, so you'll have a few days to do some research on him, and I can send you like his Twitter and some of his like policies and stuff like that, and some of his like Epstein like transparency stuff, or you can just look at it yourself.
Okay. Yeah. I'll look at it.
Yeah, he's basically the one that's gotten like the Epstein files basically signed, and he's the one that wrote the Epstein Files Transparency Act.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'll look into it. I guess like so you just want to discuss him as
I
a
just want to
person or
discuss
like
his
his movement
election. I
or?
just want to discuss his election because he's running again. The primary is May 19th, and it will determine if he beats Ed Gallagher, it will determine if MAGA is going to go into the direction of no foreign wars and actual like America. It's basically like the whole like MAGA civil war of are you America first or are you for Israel first? Because they're actually
Oh, I see.
sending like Ed Gallagher like $9.8 million to beat Thomas Massey. Like it's one of the biggest elections that APAC has ever donated to in the congressional
Hmm.
race. So it's like
Okay.
it's a really big deal. And if APAC gets defeated, then that basically like does a big, huge dent to the reputation.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, let's look forward to it. But yeah, I think that's probably it for me. I mean, I'll just kind of restate, my position is once again, I I judge all this case by case with the policies, and I look at it as a whole, and under my opinion, I do think the MAGA movement was successful. If it continues to be successful, we'll see. But I think that's going to be something we look at that's going to be beyond Trump and whoever is going to take the stage next, which will be interesting to see who that is. But
Which we can
thanks for having me on
definitely,
this show,
yeah,
and
of
I
course.
appreciate it. And had a lot of fun like discussing this. But I look forward to the next one.
All right, peace, man. Thank you for coming on. It was a really good conversation, even though it got heated a little bit. But I mean,
Yeah, no
that's just
worries.
how debates works. But at the end of the day, we don't take it personally. Because at the end of the day, in fact, like sometimes you're just passionate, so it'll get a little heated. But at the end of the day, that's what it
I
is. Like
take none of this
you don't want
personally.
an echo chamber. Like you want people to actually have their own opinions. And I feel like we did a good stream on basically getting everyone's perspectives. I pushed back on Dan just a little bit, even though me and him do a lot of certain things, but I feel like it was a good conversation tonight.
All right, guys. All right, well, take care. God bless, and I'll see you next time.
God bless to you too, man. See you May 19th. Don't go anywhere because, oh yeah, by the way, Dan, if you're still there, you can unmute now. But don't go anywhere because now we get to cover some Rage Bait. And then if Casket King is still available, I'll have him DJ and just chill. But, so I didn't think this would get any coverage. I just did it as a joke. I basically went on Twitter and said that Nicholas DeOil was the Antichrist. And apparently Queeman fucking covered it.
There's no fucking way, dude. There's no fucking way. Queeman fucking covered it, dude.
Yo, I want to do some more Rage Bait too to get more people. But apparently, I think he found it funny. I'm not for sure. We're going to react to the clip now, but it's so fucking funny. See, that's what I like doing. I like doing fucking Rage Bait and getting people.
Type shit, man. That's all I gotta say. Brain Mahim.
Okay, I'm gonna fucking Rage Bait, get more people in the stream.
Fucking love when my brain melts. My brain melts.
Alright. Alright, did another Twitter promo. So now let's go ahead and bring this up.
Bro, there's no fucking way, dog.
Alright, 3, 2. So this is some funny shit. Obviously, it's not me being serious. It's not me being
He is the Antichrist, dude. He's fucking fat and shit or something.
So basically, this is the tweet that got the attraction. Nicholas DeOil is the Antichrist. He is the Antichrist Jr. Ethan is the Antichrist, sir. And then,
Senior.
if you go to, hold on. If you go to here, I quoted, Ethan Klein is Satan, and Nicholas DeOil is his Antichrist, sent by him to fool us all. And then Queeman apparently covered this, so let's see what he has to say.
Dude, Triton might be one of the best.
Hold on, let's see.
Let's fucking hear this, bro. There's no fucking
Dude,
way.
Triton might be one of the best posters on Twitter. Triton is just talking sense, bro. Ethan Klein is Satan, and Nicholas Durios is Antichrist, sent by him to fool us all. Triton just cooks. Triton's just...
Bro, what's the
Yeah,
fuck?
I'm telling the truth, though. I'm telling the truth. He is the Antichrist, Joe.
Bro, guys, he's literally the Antichrist.
He's the Antichrist
okay?
of commentary,
I don't know how to tell you
literally.
guys.
And
No, he
Queeman's
isn't
like
just the Antichrist of commentary. He's
no
the
disrespect to
Antichrist,
Jesus
bro.
Christ, but Queeman's like the Jesus Christ of commentary, coming in, being the savior, being the one telling the truth, and I'm just one of his
Yes.
disciples. We're
Queeman is
basically
literally
fighting the
Jesus
holy
Christ.
wars. The holy wars are going on in commentary. Nicholas Dioio's definitely the Antichrist, and Ethan Klein's definitely the devil. Ethan Klein's just the devil, fucking birthing all these fucking anti-Christ, pro-Israel, Zionist commentary, fucking anti-free speech warrior
We're literally
clown.
gonna fucking we're gonna fucking do a commentary presidency, guys. We're gonna go ahead and fucking do that real quick. Oh shit. We're gonna have APAC. America Israel Political Action Commentary come after us and pay fucking millions of dollars to fuck us over now. Fuck.
That's basically what's going on. That's basically. I feel like that's something like that kind of does already happen. I'm not gonna lie, because these people fucking they like if you go into the drama sphere, they act like Maga in so many ways. Where if you criticize them the slightest bit, they'll try to oust you. They'll try to say, "Oh, you're no longer commentary. You're no longer part of the drama mafia."
What are you criticizing them for, bro? They're totally fucking they're exempt from criticism. Fuck
Total
them.
iDub vindication.
Dumbass.
Total iDubbbz vindication. I'm not gonna lie, iDubbbz was right on one part where it's rules for thee but not for him. He's not allowed to go against his principles. He's not allowed to be anti-free speech and be a lefty piece of shit. But Nicholas Dioio is. Nicholas Dioio's allowed to be anti-free speech and a crybaby. He literally lost to fucking Anissa.
Let me clear this up for you, Triton. Okay, let me clear this up for you, buddy.
It's not cleared up. I already know what I'm talking about, but go ahead.
It's iDubbbz, guys. He was my top guy. He can't. What gives him the right? You know, what gives him the right? My top guy? Fuck him, bro. Guys, if you didn't
look, I don't want to respond.
iDubbbz is in my pocket, by the way, guys. I'm literally being...
Wait, hold on. I want to respond to chat. You really think it's black and white? No, it's obviously not black and white. What I'm saying is broken clocks can be right twice a day. Like, that's the thing. Yes, iDubbbz and Hassan are no better. In fact, Hassan should be in jail. But the point is, they are right about certain things, that there is a double standard. Because that's the thing. If these people have a double... Oh, well, I'm just making the point that there is a double standard. And that's the thing. Patrick and I kind of disagree a little bit, because Patrick is pro, and that's the thing. Even though I disagree with it, that is your right to be. But Patrick is more pro Hassan. Me, I think Hassan should be in jail personally because of the terroristic threats and him teaching people how to make a bomb. That's just me personally. But that's the thing. It's like Hassan, even though Hassan has his own problems and he should be in jail, he is right about Dioio having a double standard, and that's the problem. You don't want people like Hassan that is being bad and having a bad reputation. Oh, yeah, also Patrick was being sarcastic. But anyways, you don't want Hassan, who's having a bad reputation, to be right. And when Dioio has a double standard, you're giving this piece of shit Hassan a W. And that's the problem. Is you're giving these people W's. You're giving these people fuck. And by the way, I'm gonna go ahead and invite Casket King for some music, and we can fucking shoot shit, talk about whatever, and all that.
You're gonna want to give that guy a Hassan picture. Fucking what the fuck is the thing? I think it's I don't know, guys. Dude, fucking going off topic for a minute. Anybody fucking remember that when they fucking stole Alex Jones' fucking InfoWars and they just fucking...
Oh yeah, we covered that the other... Oh yeah, whenever you do go to
The
bed,
blood of Jesus
Glitch, you have a good
Christ,
night.
or whatever the fuck that
Yeah,
the
that's
fucking
the thing,
retard
and
on
they
the
and you know what
Onion
they
was trying to
did?
mock him for,
Yeah, they
and
tried
it
to
was
just
just
mock
cringe
him,
as
but they got.
fuck.
But you
It
know
was
what's
just
crazy?
cringe
The
as
real
fuck.
Alex
Yeah.
Jones still got more views than Infowars.
Bro, I don't know how he keep. Bro, I think that. Bro, he can't keep getting away with this
But you
type
know
shit.
why?
You know.
They don't understand. People don't watch Infowars for Infowars. They watch Infowars for Alex Jones.
Yeah. Well, the funniest thing is, if you want to do a good parody of somebody, Norm Macdonald said this one time in his life, you know, at least once, and it's absolutely correct.
All right, you have a good
If you
night,
want to
man.
parody somebody and you want it to actually be a good fucking parody, you have to at least kind of fucking like the person you're parodying, right? Because if you hate the person, you're not going to be able to do a good impression of them. You're going to make them look like you're going to look like a retard trying to poke fun at them because you fucking don't like them. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, if Norm Macdonald can fucking sum it up, why can't I was like fucking in the 90s when he said this shit. Why can't other people fucking kind of, you know, get that shit right now? It's been fucking years since the 90s, you know? Norm Macdonald's, bro. Absolutely.
But I ain't gonna lie, it's just like commentary would just be a lot better if they didn't have double standards and shit. And that's the thing, that's
Dude.
why I criticize MAGA. I even criticize some people in America First, even though I'm part of America First. I even criticize some of them when they have double standards. Like, I just don't like double standards when playing period, especially obvious ones, especially when it's applied to me. Like when you say, oh, you can't say this, but we can say this. It's like, that's not fair.
Hey Triton, take the advice of my grandpappy, who I'd never met before, but I'm gonna go ahead and just fucking say it out for the record because I think this is something he might have said. Who fucking knows? I think the saying is, what's it again? Life isn't fair, son. Learn to suck it the fuck up and deal with it, or some shit. I think that's what he said. But I mean, no, it's just I think that's bullshit. I think life will only be fair if the DMV, okay, and mark my words, this is going to happen if you guys elect me as president, okay? Okay? Listen to me, alright? The DMV will literally, okay? They will literally start making a new form of mandatory ID, okay? This is what's going to make life fair. It's going to be the Treaty of Versailles, okay? There's going to be a legally required mandatory ID used to get a fucking a driver's license, okay? That's the only time life will be fair. And I know I'm going off topic, but my schizo conspiracy theory for today, okay, is that the people who cannot fucking drive properly, okay, are retarded. Okay. And that has culminated in more retards online, because if you can't drive somewhere and, you know, go fucking to a bar and have a nice fucking drink or whatever, you don't know how to drive and you're just retarded. Totally fucking off topic there, but you know. I'm sleep deprived, so that's why it makes sense to me. Because nothing makes sense at this point.
Also,
Somebody please save me.
Casket King can't come on, so tomorrow we'll be doing a music stream.
We got fucking cock blocked again.
Well, no, Casket King was supposed to come on 9:30, but then we just talked to Mobile. Because I'm not gonna lie, the Mobile Battle thing was a good convo, even though it got a little heated. Like, you know, I like the guy, but there was some stuff, just like with Marte, like there's some stuff I disagree with. Because this thing, I just don't like that MAGA sold us out on a lot of the principles that I cared about, and I don't like that they're giving the left leverage, because they're giving them leverage, they're giving them actual valid points, and I don't, and that's why I feel like there needs to be more
Massive
people from the right wing criticizing
right
Trump, because if you don't have the right wing criticism, it just gives the left an easy W. When in reality, we could be against the left and also be against Trump's shenanigans at the same time.
Is that it? Wait, hold on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did I just? I thought I heard something very important to bring up, right? You know, you ever heard of that one? Fuck, what's a massive day for the unemployed, bro? You know, it's a massive day. You know?
Also, there's some breaking news. Willie
What's
Mack
the
show
breaking
got
news?
sloppy toppy from Nick DiOrio. That's why he will never betray Fat Oreo. My source is Candace Owens.
Fuck, man, that's a lot to take in. Okay, that's quite a fucking bit to take in this late at night. Are you sure? Are you 100% positive?
Yeah, Candace Owens told me.
That's fucked, bro. What the fuck is wrong with you, fucking Willie Mack show? What the fuck, man? Absolute fucking degenerate piece of shit. I can't support this fucker anymore. I can't, dude. Dude, every motherfucking guy I support turns out to be retarded. Wait.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing. Shout out to my queen, Candace Owens, for giving me that information.
Black
She's been
queen,
giving me a lot of
Candace
scoop
Owens,
on the
or whatever the
commentary
fuck.
community. She's even told me that that they tried to double team Augie, but Augie just fought against the dicks.
The dicks. Wait,
By the way,
who tried to pull out their dicks and fuck Augie Raw? What the fuck? That sounds like something,
Nicholas DiOrio and Turkey Tom. In fact, Turkey Tom
I thought it
wanted to
would be-
watch
Wait,
Nicholas
what the fuck?
DiOrio.
I thought it would be fucking Destiny and fucking, you know.
Oh, Destiny
Willie
was
Mack
there
show
too.
who-
They were all there. It's like a
Wait,
whole
so
commentary
Willie Mack show was
network.
there too. Willie Mack show was there too.
I mean, like I said on Twitter, Nicholas DiOrio is the
Fuck.
boss of Jeffrey Epstein. So you gotta
Fuck.
understand.
God damn.
People want to say Epstein's the main guy. No, Epstein's just the minion. Nicholas DiOrio is the main boss.
Bro, see, we're taking this too far now, bro. We should have.
No, I'm just doing bait. I'm just doing bait. I'm just doing pure rage bait. I'm doing pure rage bait.
All I'm saying, Triton. All I'm saying is we should have dealt with this as soon as we possibly could. We could have saved the timeline from.
I tried, but I got Thomas Massey out of the community, bro.
That's just fucked, man. The
I'm
world
basically
will
the
never
Thomas
heal.
Massey of
After all this
commentary.
information, the world will never heal. It will never heal.
The world. Release the DiOrio files. Release the
DiOrio.
Nick files. Release the Nick files.
Release the DiGiorno files, guys. Release the DiGiorno files.
In fact, I'm gonna tweet that.
Release the DiGiorno files. We need all the files on DiGiorno's pizza rolls. Okay?
Release the.
Nicholas DiGiorno. Is that the? I think Nicholas DiGiorno might be the Italian great fucking grandfather of Nicholas DiOrio. What? You agree with me on that, Triton?
Mm-hmm.
That a solid theory to come up with.
What?
That makes
Watch
absolutely
some
no fucking
watch
sense
some
at all.
retard come to the chat or come in my replies and say, "You're making false claims on Nicholas DiOrio." It's rage
No,
bait.
it's
dumbass, I
true,
got
bro.
you.
Dude, fuck. All of these motherfuckers don't understand. Nicholas DiOrio's great grandfather, his name was Nicholas DiGiorno, and they made really good pizzas over in fucking whatever the fuck is called now, Staten Island. I don't know what they call it anymore. I think it's a nuclear wasteland after 20 years of just being nothing. Watch me just randomly get fucking assassinated by some motherfuckers from Staten Island after saying that. That's awesome.
And I would blame it on Nicholas DiOrio.
No. You have to blame it on me because for some reason, actually, Staten Islanders are pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's funny to blame Nicholas DiOrio for everything.
I'm not going to blame him for the actions of people who are not associated with him.
8030 says in the Twitter.
8030, you're not from Staten Island. Quit trying to pretend.
Hold on. 8030 says I should box Nicholas DiOrio. What do y'all think? Should I box him? I'll probably win, so all I gotta do is just punch him in the stomach. He goes, oh!
You're a fucking liar, bro. You punch him in the stomach and he's gonna fucking bounce off. That's just gonna bounce off, break your fucking wrist, and he's gonna be totally fine, bro.
Not if I just break the hole and fucking release all the Oreos from his stomach. Then what? He
How
won't
are
be
you
fat
gonna do that?
anymore.
How are you gonna do that? How are you gonna do that, Triton? How are you gonna do
With
that?
my Dragon Ball Z fist.
I didn't even know you had that, bro. That's crazy.
In fact, I bet you Goku. I bet you Nicholas DeFaga hasn't even watched Dragon Ball Z like a fucking loser.
He has, bro. He has, though.
He's trying to kill
He's
Goku.
actually, dude. He's in the cartel. They always do it, bro. Trust. They watch that shit every what's the fucking they watch it all the time.
You know
What's
what?
wrong with you? Just ask Ralph. He can prove it.
Yeah. Speaking of, Ethan Ralph is really cool, but
Wait. I wonder. Have we ever actually had Ethan Ralph on this show before?
yeah, we've had him for an interview. Whenever Silver Kike was the co-host.
Wait, I forget if I was there or not. I'm pretty sure I was.
I don't think he was. I can look.
Pretty sure I was, wasn't I? Hey man, don't try and fucking. No, hey.
If not, you could be on the next one. You could be on the next
Hey,
one.
listen. I've already done enough Stolen Valor, okay? I can't afford to do some more. Please.
Because I did invite Ethan Ralph back on the show. He did say he's so busy where it's just hard to like catch him at the perfect time. But I'm gonna ask again this week and see if he's actually down to.
Triton, understand this. I cannot get caught doing Stolen Valor again, bro. That's a career ender. That's a career ender for motherfuckers in politics. Trust, bro. Trust.
No, but we know someone who did, and I'm not going to mention him because he's a
Hey,
faggot.
bro. What the fuck are you dissing me again for? Fuck.
I'm talking about some other guy I'm not mentioning.
Triton, I don't think we can be friends anymore, bro. That's fucked up. You're trying to play it off as if somebody else other than me.
All right, don't be trying to rage bait me now.
Alright, fair enough.
So you're gonna get A-logs in your DMs taking you serious. Oh, really? That's a dirt. Where's his phone number?
Bro,
What's his address?
I don't care. What are they gonna do? Come to my house? Awesome. Hey, y'all want a fucking barbecue? Oh. What? That's not a threat. I have a grill in the backyard, bro. What the fuck? Y'all came to my house and y'all don't want to be treated like a guest? Because that's what y'all are? Fuck. I don't care about that shit. The main thing I care about is, not having people is not having people show up at my house, bro. You know, at least if they come to my house, I can spin it as being, somebody who's relevant, right? If I don't have anybody come to my house, I'm irrelevant as fuck. We can't have that happen now, can we, Triton?
No.
We can't be irrelevant today. 2026, me irrelevant? Fuck no, dude. That's death. Worse than death, actually. Mega death. Woo! I love being irrelevant.
All right, so now there's actually a topic I do want to cover before I end. It's just a quick one. Andrew Tate versus Gypsy Crusader. Apparently they're having another, which I didn't know this, but according to Jay Sheriff, and I could be wrong, this is what Jay Sheriff told me. Apparently Andrew Tate and Gypsy Crusader have already fought before.
Wait, like physically or
Yeah.
in a sexual way? Because they're both.
Apparently they have a fight. Apparently they have a fight. It's official to set. I tried to ask for a date, and Grok's just being fucking gay about it, so I don't know a date. But yeah.
Is being gay.
So who do you have your bets on? Do you think Andrew Tate or Gypsy Crusader is gonna win?
I don't fucking know. I hope they both lose. It'd be funny if they just somehow both managed to knock each other the fuck out and both lose. That'd be hilarious.
Why do you not like either of them?
No, not at all. No, not at all.
What's your grievance? All right, let's start with Andrew Tate and we'll go to Gypsy. What's your grievances with Andrew Tate?
Retarded.
What about Gypsy Crusader? Same thing.
Retarded Nazi who is unironically a Nazi but would not be considered Aryan. So he needs to stop fucking grifting like a fucking retard. He makes me want to fucking throw away my fucking Hugo Boss fucking dress shirts with how fucking cringy he's being. You know what? If Gypsy Crusader keeps up the cringe, I might actually just sell my Hugo Boss dress shirts and maybe not be broke again.
Would you box Gypsy Crusader or Andrew Tate?
Yeah, I would.
Do you think you would win?
If it's strictly MMA, no. I know Krav Maga, sort of. So if it's sort of that, then definitely, yeah, can improvise.
Honestly, I think I got Gypsy winning. At Graven Goiper says I love Gypsy. Well, yeah, because you're a Goiper. But anyways, I got Gypsy winning mainly because he's won his past boxing match, and Andrew Tate doesn't really have that good of a fighting experience. All he has is steroids. He doesn't even train.
He's my favorite fucking tipsy gypsy.
My bet's on Gypsy winning this one, and apparently, according to Jay Sheriff, Gypsy won the last one. But let me verify this real quick.
Jay Sheriff, where's your sauce? Where's your sauce?
Someone's calling me a fucking Discord.
Where's your Jay sauce? Where's your sauce? Where's your sauce? Where's your sauce?
Current.
Where's your sauce? Where's your sauce? Where's your sauce? Yeah, no, actually, I could... See, I really, I'm gonna be real, okay? I'm gonna be completely real. I don't fucking... If it's, if it's MMA or boxing... My bet's mainly on MMA if I win the fight against Gypsy and Andrew Tate. But like boxing, I'm gonna be real. I can't really throw a... I can throw a powerful punch, but like my technique is not really that fucking good, dude. I'm gonna be completely honest. People have seen it before. It's powerful, but as much as it'll fuck up somebody else, it'll also fuck me up because it's terrible.
Would you 2v1? Chat's asking. Chat's really
asking.
Fuck
no. No. First of all, already had to do that on public transport. And no, I would not do it again, especially with people who are actually trained at fighting. I had to do it against a crackhead and some annoying fucking bitch who wanted me to fucking stop the fucking shit with the crackhead.
Did you win on public transport? That's what Raven Goiper asked.
Well, the cops weren't called, so I'd consider that, yes, a win. And I'm not banned, so... Which I'm actually really fucking surprised. I guess it's really fucking normal. But, mentally, absolutely not. I was just minding my own fucking business, sitting on the back of the bus, because I don't like to fucking sit anywhere somebody can fucking get behind me after that Arena Zarutska shit. I'm kind of paranoid. And it kind of fucked me up mentally because, you don't even have to sit at the back. You don't even have to be sitting up at the front of the bus exposed. You can be at the back of the bus listening to music, minding your own fucking business, and these motherfuckers will come try and start shit with you.
So you can handle Tate and Crusader, Raven Goiper says.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Sure, why not?
See, so you probably could take them on. I mean, I don't know. I probably could take on Tate.
No. Which one's easier? A fucking crackhead who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing? Or two trained MMA fighters? One that's gonna kick your ass even when he's out of breath. You know what, to be honest, that one's the easy one. or the one who's so confident in his ability, but he's a Tate, honestly, maybe.
Tate's easier than a
But like,
crackhead.
dude, I could barely get that one crackhead under control. Okay, what makes you think I can get a crackhead and somebody who can keep going after they're fucking winded practically? What makes you think I can do that? I can barely even keep going after I'm winded. Okay, fuck. I don't have that power. Fuck no, dude. If it's in a professional setting, fuck no. If it's like I'm gonna be completely real, bro. If it's like in a fucking no rules, dude, fucking no, dude, it'd be easy. Because in a street fight, you're not looking to fucking win. You're looking to fucking just beat. Well, yeah, I fucking whip both of their asses. Okay, just plain and simple.
Raven Corper says fuck wolves.
Yeah, it's not even any connotation of their fighting styles. It's just without the rules. If you're not playing dirty in a street fight, well, dude, you're either fucking retarded or you're fucking dead.
Who do you think I would have a better chance against, Tate or Gypsy?
I'd say Tate, because I've never actually. That's just from what I know. I've never seen him, like, that recent fight Gypsy had where he was fucking still whipping the shit out of Kiddo with even while he was winded half to fucking death. I'm gonna be completely honest. I can keep on fucking running for like. I can keep on doing tons of shit even while I'm winded, right? In order to regain like, dude, here's the funniest thing, right? If I'm fucking running, and you fucking seen this too, haven't you, Triton? When I go into a full sprint, right, and I'm winded, I can walk and regain my fucking stamina. I can keep moving and regain my stamina. You fucking know this, right? It's just the same fucking way with most shit, right? But I mean, I'm pretty sure you're the same. I don't know.
In fact, yeah, we kind of practice smart on the march a little bit,
Yeah.
but not like too much.
Yeah. It was kind of fun. I don't know. I really do want to. I want to do a couple more things. I haven't done. I haven't actually been to a Krav Maga class in so fucking long. I was like, when I just got out of high school after I graduated. And since then, I don't even think I think I was there. I didn't even make the first fucking qualification. That's how fucking short it was. But like, I mean, I'm gonna be completely real. I probably don't know most of the fighting style. I improvise, okay? Okay? It's not the shit that the military uses, or federal law enforcement or whatever.
Would you
It's
box
the same
Willie
theory.
back? I don't
Me,
know.
absolutely. I'd beat the fuck out of him. I know his ass can't throw a punch. As much as I like his content, I know his ass cannot throw a punch. Fuck! A punch! What the fuck? What?
What about Augie? Honestly, Augie would probably be the easiest, or Ball Blacks. But
That's why
Tipster, I don't.
Tips.
He has the trans rage. Like, apparently he's come out as like
Listen,
a trans.
guys, listen, okay? You can't fucking win a fight against Tipster, because as soon as he walks on that fucking mat, the whole there's a sinkhole. There's a fucking sinkhole. And if the mat doesn't collapse, all he has to fucking do is run at you, and he's so big you can't dodge. And he just body slams you and you're fucking dead. What the fucking fuck?
He has true rage, and he's Captain Planet.
Honestly, I couldn't fight Augie. I gotta do the. I gotta give mercy to my my idol.
What about
master.
Bull Blacks? Would you fight Bull Blacks?
Possibly if I was getting paid. No. If not, no. I'm gonna be honest. The principle is, why would I fucking Chud Logic? See, I'm gonna be real. As much as I think I'd be able to take on Tate, if you look at somebody like Chud Logic, it might actually be equal, because you could probably tell he's been growing up fighting his whole life. Just look based on the fucking facial hair, the fucking teeth, and the fucking glasses, bro. I do like Chud Logic, though. Guess why? It's really fucking easy to guess why.
He's an overweight.
Fuck you! Why do you think he's overweight? Because he doesn't have to fight people on the street for money anymore. He's already got it. He doesn't need to fucking do it anymore. He probably still has the, he probably still has the fucking ability to fight. He just hasn't needed to use it.
Oh, I accidentally joined a fucking VC. I'm stupid.
He's not fucking okay. The thing is, he is literally, and I tell you this right now, he is not like Tipster. He doesn't get fat and overweight from eating his victims. He does it after beating them up, stealing their money, and buying a shit ton of food with it. That's the difference. I wish I was that fucking good at fighting, bro. My Krav Maga skills and my...
I mean, I think I could take on Chud Logic.
I don't think you could, bro. I don't think so, bro. He's got you beat by like 250 pounds. He's got me beat by fucking 200 pounds.
Chud is British Tipster.
Fuck no, he's not.
Are you
Is he
retarded?
actually British Tipster? That's no, because like Tipster was retarded. No offense, you actually full offense here, right? There was plenty of things Tipster could have done to actually fucking, get people to stop, siding with Nicholas DiOrio and actually agree with Tipster. That's one of the things I do give Tipster criticism for, because no, but Chud actually has people who are kind of switching sides, bro. After this, yeah, they're calling him a snake, but now they're starting to call Nicholas DiOrio sensitive. Come on, bro. What the fuck? What the fuck? British Tipster my ass, dog. More like British fucking Willie Mac. Wait, bro. Fuck. I just imagine the fucking clipping of this fucking live stream and have that fucking segment just fucking clipped, and I look like a total fucking dickhead. Chud Logic sees it and he's like, alright, fuck this fucking cunt, this stupid fucking lawyer, this piece of shit. I'm not fucking British Willie Mac. And I'm going to fucking ruin your career.
He's gonna hate the chat more than you, to be honest. Chud Logic will be, oh my, bro, Chud Logic, if you see this, if you see this, I disavow my chat, okay? I disavow
No,
these
I
fucking
don't. Chat has their own thoughts and opinions, and I respect their right to have those opinions. And speaking of those opinions, Ravengroiper, how much you want to fucking bet? I bet $0 because I know it's not going to happen in 1 year. How much are you willing to bet? I'm also lying. I'll probably bet $100. Who are we waiting on?
We're just doing a chill vibe segment right now.
Chill.
Just shooting the shit, basically.
I gotta fucking go to work tomorrow.
Well, if you want to get off now, then you can get off.
Fuck no, dude. Fuck no. I'm nervous.
Alright, then we can stay on.
I'm
I'm probably gonna stay on till like 11:45 or to midnight.
Yeah, fuck. I'm gonna have to do fucking delivery driving again. God.
Probably go get me a late night snack and then fucking just come back.
I'm gonna be honest, I do like my job now. I do like the delivery driving shit, bro. I got a position as a clerk and delivery driver, and if I close the store one more time, I think I have a possibility of becoming a part of the management team. the store management team, not anything fancy, but like I'll be a manager in the store.
You should be a full-time spy on Chud Logic's app.
That's fucked up.
Fucking weirdos.
What's wrong with you, bro? What the fuck is that, dog? What the fuck? Do Groypers hate Chud Logic or something? I have no idea.
I think it's just Raven Groiper just fucking around. I don't know, no. Yo,
I
Raven
know.
Groiper, do you hate Chud Logic?
I mean, don't the Groypers hate Augie RFC too now? Oh wait, no, they've been hated him. They've been hated Augie RFC, haven't they?
Yeah, because Augie was critical of Nick in 2022.
Forget, why the fuck was Augie critical of Nick?
Mainly because he hung out at the Kino Casino.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it's funny as fuck because even some of my IRLs know, like, they never knew who fucking Augie RFC was until this. Remember when Augie RFC did the drama did the conversation with the Act Man? Remember that shit?
Oh, yeah.
That's when one of my IRLs started knowing about fucking Augie RFC. Then went down the Ethan Ralph pipeline. Funniest shit ever.
Augie's alright, but he kisses Jaden McNeil's ass. I don't know much about that.
Jaden McJew, that's what I call him.
I mean, I know about Jaden McNeil, but I don't know about Augie's relationship with him. But yeah, Jaden McNeil, he's a funny character. He's a really funny character.
He's so funny, bro. Absolutely crazy.
I think he's still mad at me because the Goipers keep on. I keep basically getting traction from the Goipers, and he hates anybody that gets promoted by the Goipers. So.
Oh yeah. Well, why does he hate it? Why does he hate the Goipers?
It's because he's basically Nick Fuentes' ex-boyfriend, and he
literally, bro. Like, it's so funny, bro. Was he on the Catboy Ranch with Nick Fuentes and Keffels, or what the fuck was that? Oh wait. What happened, Jaded? What happened, Jaded McFelted? What happened, Jaden McFucking Freud?
We tried kissing Nick Fuentes at Spider-Man. Oh yeah, that was an allegation Nick Fuentes was spreading around that the reason why the friendship ended is because Jaden McNeil at Spider-Man was trying to kiss Nick Fuentes in the movie theater, and Nick Fuentes got super
Fuentes should have just
uncomfortable.
fucking. Wouldn't it have been funny as fuck if Nick Fuentes just laid that motherfucker out, just bam, 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 1, 2, 5, 7, 3, 9, type shit. Like fucking Batman Arkham combos. I think the funniest thing that I could actually do is I can do a fucking Batman Arkham style.
Jaden denies it, but it would make sense if true.
Yeah. I think the funniest thing that I could actually do a Batman Arkham Knight or City or Asylum or Origins beatdown style fucking combo of Fury of Punches, but they're just they don't hurt at all, bro. They don't. I can actually punch that quick. I can. It's just not effective.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's just I don't know why, but Jaden McNeil kind of has like a bad obsession with Nick Fuentes, and he needs to just move on. It's like just like the people that have obsession with me, just move on with your life. Like your life would be much easier if you just moved the fuck on.
Hey man, you got any more of them move on with life pills that I can take, brother? Hey man, I'm trying to move on with my life. What? That too expensive, man? Fuck you, man. I ain't gonna move on with my life no more.
I can't move on from my
I'ma ruin
life.
your shit.
I have to be stuck in
I'ma ruin your shit.
2022.
You understand me? You motherfucker me, boy. I'll fucking ruin your shit.
Literally. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the shit that's going through the motherfucking heads right now, dog.
Not only that, but also Thursday's going to be a really good show as well because Thursday Aaron Baker's going to come on and he's basically going to talk about the whole Dan Bilzerian thing. And also there's an update which I want to save for the show, but I want to talk a little bit about it here. Randy Fine is now supposedly wanting to end foreign aid to Israel. Now, I think it's just a big fucking grift.
It's a fucking saving tactic because
Yeah, it's a saving tactic.
Yeah,
exactly.
no, absolutely.
And I want to ask Aaron his thoughts about it. But yeah, Randy Fon just came out and pretended to be against foreign aid. But it's like, Randy Fon, we know you're still for foreign aid. We know you're still for Israel. You're just pretending not to be anymore just so you can have a saving tactic. Because you still support AIPAC. You still have your AIPAC money. He's basically pulling a Rand Paul. You can't pull a fucking Rand Paul and pretend to hate AIPAC, but when you're still taking money for them.
You're taking money
Just
from
like
the
Rand
Triton.
Paul, if you and Rand Paul were actually serious, you guys would fucking stop fucking taking money from him. And also, at least Rand Paul endorsed Thomas Massey. Randy Fon won't even do that. Randy Fon talks shit on Massey, saying Massey's a piece of shit and all that, but it's like, Randy.
Hey, Rand Paul. Hey, guess what, Rand Paul?
Well, Rand Paul's the one that
piece of
endorsed
shit,
Massey.
too.
Randy
Rand
Fon's the
Paul-
one that hates him.
Rand Paul, hey, buddy, listen to me. I'm a giant piece of shit, too. Where's my fucking crown, motherfucker?
Which, to be fair, it's like Rand Paul's not too bad. It's just the AIPAC thing. It's like there's something I can't support, and that's why it's like when people say Ron DeSantis and Rand Paul are patriots. No, the fucking not. And these America Firsters have to fucking stop. In fact, I'm gonna go on a little fucking rant. There's these fucking stupid accounts on well, not
America
stupid
Fisters.
accounts, but there's these Twitter accounts that I do like that are just fucking basically kissing Ron DeSantis' ass.
America Fisters. Damn, I didn't know they were fisting each other, bruh.
America Fisters.
What are they, fucking lesbians or something? What the fuck? I didn't know they were fucking fake men. What the fuck?
Hey, would you want to react to a Sneeko clip? Sneeko apparently says the argument between Nick Fuentes and Dan Bilzerian is stupid.
Okay. Damn.
Fuck it. We're on free for all, so why not?
Fuck it, we ball, brother. We're balling. Guys, I legit want to be a baller. I want to be a shot caller, and I want to put some 20-inch blades on my Impala, bruh. Okay?
Alright, let's just promote.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
get
I'm pulling this up really quick.
In about 50 minutes, I'm gonna have to get off, because, dude,
Yeah, 50 minutes, I'm gonna get off too. I'm gonna go get me a late night snack and then fucking just basically just.
I'm gonna fucking drink, bro. Fuck, I'm fucking tired.
Alright, let's go ahead
Can't
and
fucking speak without yawning half the fucking time. Ain't that fucked up?
let's see. No, I know, I'm yawning too. And if you need to get off, you can always get off. I'm gonna stay on till midnight. You're gonna stay to midnight with me, or you want to get off now?
I can't, bro. I gotta go to work at fucking 7 a.m.
Well, if you want to get off, then you can get off if you want. But I'm gonna.
Yeah, nah. I'll just stay on for about 15 minutes, right? So.
All right. Well, then I'll cover the segment while you're here. Then. With
Yeah,
Sneeko.
probably the best thing we can do.
We should support people who are trying to do the right thing. I support Dan Bilzerian. I think his race is changing the conversation. I think.
Hold on, Sneeko. Do you not know who Aaron Baker is? This guy needs to be informed of Aaron Baker. After
Aaron
this video, I'm
Baker
going to inform you of Aaron Baker. Like, literally. Do you
Right.
not know Aaron Baker? The criticism against Dan Bilzerian is he's literally running in a district where there's already America First candidates. All he's doing is splitting the vote. They literally told him, hey, we'll endorse you if you go to District 16, and he refuses to switch districts. So, yeah, Dan Bilzerian is not helping the America First movement. In fact, he literally recently said he hates the America First movement. Dan Bilzerian
Might
is
actually
not
be a
really a
fag.
patriot.
It's
What was that,
funny
Dan?
because, like, Dan kind of fucked himself up in that regard, right? He really did. Because, like, with how retarded he's acting, I never expected fucking Nick Fuentes to support Aaron Baker, but that's what's happening.
Yeah, Dan Bilzerian's so retarded that Nick is based. Some people have tried to say that Nick endorsed Randy Fon, but he never did. In fact, Nick did the opposite and endorsed Aaron Baker because he knows Aaron Baker is their true winner. He knows Aaron Baker can get the job done. Sneak, that's the thing. Sneeko, you need to do your research. Do your research, and I get Dan Bilzerian's your friend,
Do your
right?
research.
But you need to do your research and figure out who the real America First candidates are and who the real winner is. And Aaron Baker has more of a chance to win because he's an actual politician that's going to nursing homes, that's going to boomer events and getting the boomers on board.
Boomers.
We should support people who are trying to.
People, guys. Trust.
And I don't like the boomers, but my district, you have to get some boomers on board because my district is unfortunately a boomer populated district. Too many fucking boomers in it, but you have to appeal to them a little bit. And Aaron Baker does a good job of appealing to the younger people and a little bit to the boomers. Dan Bilzerian, all he does is go on TV and says, Israelis need to die. I need to get my fucking gun. It's like, what does that fucking do? In fact, that makes all of us look like idiots, especially the one, like if Nick Fuentes were to endorse that, that would have made him look like a fucking ass.
That would make him look like that would probably give the fucking FBI the fucking needed push to just arrest his ass with all these anti-Semitism laws and shit being passed. So like,
in fact, like Nick said on the show the other night, it literally creates more anti-free speech laws by Dan doing that bullshit.
Yeah, and that's just fucking stupid. It's
Do the right thing.
Everybody in
I think it's applying a lot of pressure on Randy Fine, and it shows people that they can't get that comfortable in Congress saying the stuff that they're saying without any pushback. And I like to see him lead the conversation in a new direction, and I support that. But I also see what Fuentes is saying by wanting to see further and look into the future by wanting to vote Democrat. And really, overall, I'm not trying to like sound like I'm sitting on the fence here. I think the argument is stupid. It's like, okay, you guys.
Okay, either vote Democrat or how about my argument is vote for America First candidate that can actually win. Don't vote people like Casey Push that's just going to fuck it up and don't even want to win. Vote for people like Aaron Baker who actually do want to win. Because for me, talking with Aaron Baker, and I'm going to have another conversation with Aaron, I'm going to ask him directly this. It seems like so far, Aaron Baker wants to actually win. And I'm going to ask and fucking kind of, like, not like press, but like just make sure that Aaron actually truly, genuinely does want to win. But it seems like to me from my conversations with him, Aaron Baker truly wants to win. He's not like Dan Bilzerian. It's just like, I'm just going to call him in and get some attention, and I don't care if I lose. It's like, if you want to run and represent America First and you want to get endorsements from myself, Nick Fuentes, or other people that actually care about the political direction of America, you have to want to win, and you actually want to have to make change. Don't just come here and act like a fucking goofball and say, I'm going to go get my gun and I'm going to go kill this. And that's like, people like that, that's not serious. What's serious is identifying the problem, talking about policies to fix the problem. And Aaron Baker has talked about a few policies to fix the problem in foreign aid. He's not just talking about getting a gun and doing this and that. It's like, what does that have to do? Knowing that, but Dan coming on saying, I'm just going to declare war on Israel, call off its citizens. It's like, that literally, bro, isn't that what we criticize Randy Fine for when he says, I'm going to go kill Palestinians and declare war on Palestine? You're literally doing the same thing as Randy Fine, but just doing it on a different country, dude. And this is the problem with Dan Bilzerian. And that's why I don't really think Dan Bilzerian is America First, because Dan Bilzerian is just coming on acting like a complete unhinged, low IQ anti-Semite idiot.
Have different strategies. You have a different goal, but that doesn't mean you need to go at each other's necks because Dan Bilzerian has a more immediate strategy and Nick Fuentes has a.
Dan Bilzerian needs to drop out and endorse Aaron Baker. Even Nick Fuentes said that. You need to drop out and endorse Aaron Baker or endorse somebody that you think is going to win, because you're not going to win, dude. Like, let's say I decide to vote for Dan Bilzerian, right? He's not going to win. The old boomers are so fucking sensitive here. They're going to think Dan Bilzerian's a fucking terrorist. Yeah. Literally. And it's not, and I'm not saying he is. That's what the boomers, because I live in a district. I know how these boomers are. They literally they will literally call the cops over everything. And that's the thing. These boomers will think Dan Bilzerian's a fucking terrorist. Like, you can't just go on national TV and say that fucking shit. They will literally have riots if fucking Dan gets elected in Congress because these boomers don't tolerate that shit. They don't even tolerate when the pro-Israelis do that shit. Boomers are just sensitive to that shit in general, especially in my district.
Longer strategy.
Like, he's not going to persuade the boomers or even the fucking millennials or the children of the boomers, because people in the district are family oriented, and a lot of them unfortunately listen to the boomers, right? And if you're a Dan Bilzerian and you're talking about killing this, killing that, you ain't going to get their vote. All the families are going to be like, yeah, we don't even want our children around you. Why the fuck are we going to elect you? They want someone like Aaron Baker who talks about the issues, but in a civil, adult, professional way that's not talking about killing this, killing that.
It's like, okay, yeah, you guys might disagree, but you can agree on some things and try to support each other where it's feasible.
But that's the thing. If Dan Bilzerian were to run in a different district, I would actually kind of support him because we need more America First candidates in these different districts. The main problem I had with Dan Bilzerian is Aaron Baker was already running in the district to begin with. He's been running against Randy Fine for a whole fucking year. And Dan's pretending, oh, no one else is doing it. There's no one else in the race besides me. Why is he pretending? And then when Aaron Baker claps back at him and asks questions, you want to know what Dan does? He falsely accuses Aaron Baker of being pro-Israeli and pro-AIPAC and makes fake screenshots and spreads fake propaganda. And also, see you later, Dan 240p. Sorry, he was probably trying to tell me he was leaving, but yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, my thing is just, Aaron fucking, that's the thing. Dan Bilzerian is just splitting the vote. He's not doing any good. He's just splitting the vote. But yeah, shout out to Dan. All right, let's finish this clip though, and then we'll get just 15 minutes of Q&A, and then we'll end.
Trying to destroy each other, fed this, you're a poker that, you're getting raided, you said this about Israelis, you made me lock up my phone. It's
Dan Bilzerian started it though, Sneeko. That's the problem. You gotta call out the person that started it. And guess what? Dan Bilzerian started it. He went on Twitter and called Nick Fuentes a fucking fed. He's the one that started this shit, dude. So you can't sit there and just be like, oh, I'm neutral, it's both of you. No, Nick Fuentes is just doing self-defense. That's all he's fucking doing. That's all he's doing is self-defense. Like, literally. Like, bro, like, come on. Like, literally, like, come the fuck on, bro. Don't know why I'm being fucking stupid.
It's like, okay, you guys disagree. Is this an ego battle or is this a battle of rhetoric? Is this a battle about your manhood or is this a battle for what's true?
But that's the thing. Here's my proposition to Dan Bilzerian as someone that lives in the 6th district, right? And then after this rant, I'm probably going to end it. But here's my proposition to Dan Bilzerian, right? Dan Bilzerian, if you're somehow listening, watching, or somehow, you need to drop out of District 6. You need to stop saying, I'm going to kill Israelis, I'm going to get my gun. You need to stop off all that. I don't support that. I don't support political violence. I support America first. You need to be more about America first than about getting a gun and doing this and that. Like, we don't want that in the fucking movement, you fucking idiot. Like, literally. We don't need that in the movement. You need to stop with that. But anyways, that's going to be it for me, guys. It's been a really good stream. Good debate with more rebuttal, even though it got a little bit heated. But that's just how conversations are. We're going to have him back on for the Thomas Massey thing. Hopefully he does his research with that. But I'm going to go ahead, get the outro song out. But make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoyed the stream, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you don't miss an upload. And we'll be back here live tomorrow, music night with Casket King. And we will see you guys here back tomorrow, probably at like 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Anyways, it's been me, Triton, and I'm going to go ahead and play the outro song. Peace.
Time has come, I can't hide from the fact that I can't wait. See, there's a place where I can go and I can easily escape. Where the sun is always shining, and when it's dark, the lights come out. Oh, California, how I love ya, you're all I'm thinking about. Yeah. Beautiful early morning, all the birds are singing songs. I close my eyes for a moment and then I drift until I'm gone. Now if I give life permission, it'll get the best of me. So I pay it no attention as I sing a melody. Finally I'm home. Finally I'm home. Don't care if I'm alone. Finally I'm home. Palm trees and a calm breeze greet me. Melodies ringing in my ears so sweetly. See the Cali girls walking around in bikinis. The Cali boys huffing and a puffing on sweet leaf. To go far, you don't really need a nice car. Take it easy, girl, you gonna make life hard. Gotta keep my shades on or I'll go blind. And Cali never asked me how I'm doing, I'm fine. Living in a cloud of smoke, swimming in wine. Got the ocean to myself, now it's all mine. I'm a star on a boulevard, don't shine. And if I leave, I'm coming back 100 more times. Finally, I'm home. Finally, I'm home. Don't care if I'm alone. Finally, I'm home. Let's go.
The tabs you open here
Thank you for watching Nicholas the Oreos, the Antichrist, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Peace!